Just a gorgeous early evening in Pasadena, California, as over 90,000 fans pour into the most famous and picturesque football stadium in the country, the Rose Bowl. Players are getting ready on both sides. Players are working up a lather. We've got Notre Dame, UCLA in the Rose Bowl, and it's all coming your way on Saturday Night Football.
We're going to get them on a run. We're going to go, 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 go. And we aren't going to stop until we go to that goal line. Don't forget, man, today's the day we're going to win.
11 national championships, legendary players, 7 Heisman trophies. Notre Dame is used to winning. Well, not this season. 0-5 to start the season for the first time in its 119 years of college football.
It is a 33-19 victory for Purdue. And the Irish 0-5.
UCLA is looking to extend Notre Dame's losing streak and exact a little revenge after last season's last-second heartbreaking loss to the Irish.
Samardzija, he's going in. Notre Dame has scored.
3-0 in Pac-10 play. UCLA has dreams of a Pac-10 title, and a win against Notre Dame would give them much-needed momentum heading into the rest of their conference play. Will it be Notre Dame winning its first game of the year, or UCLA's first ever win against the Fighting Irish? Find out right now on Saturday Night Football. Thank you, John Saunders. Just a gorgeous night here in Pasadena. 72 degrees, not a breath of wind. Charlie Weiss is a possessor of a Notre Dame diploma, 3 Super Bowl rings, and a 19-11 record. Now in his 3rd year leading the Irish. Carl Durrell, a former great wide receiver for UCLA, is now in his 5th season at the helm. 2 years ago, he led the Bruins to a 10-win season, was named co-coach of the year in the Pac-10.
And Notre Dame's going to have the ball first. And it's one of those situations where I know Charlie Weiss wants Jimmy Clausen to get into a little bit of a rhythm, have some early success, build that confidence here in the Rose Bowl against UCLA. It's amazing what kind of medicine that can be.
Kicking off for UCLA will be Jimmy Rothstein, sophomore from right here in Los Angeles, kicking it deep to Golden Tate. And Armando Allen back deep for the Irish, standing just inside the 5-yard line. Pasadena Chamber of Commerce has got to be happy with this beautiful evening. And this will be Allen at the 5-yard line. Allen gets to the 20. He's knocked down as he crosses the 20-yard line. Now, we talked about Ben Olsen, just a 51% complete percentage for UCLA. Jimmy Clausen, on the other hand, a little bit better as the true freshman from Westlake Village, California. 42-0, incredible record in high school.
But it's a young team. 18 different players have made their first career starts this year, including Jimmy Clausen.
James Aldridge is the tailback in front of Aesop Schwab, who's in motion. And it'll be a play-action pass for Clausen. He's got a wide-open Aldridge on the left side. First down, Notre Dame, as he's rolled out of bounds by Alteron Werner. Here's tonight's starting lineup presented by Dell. He's the head coach of Oaks Christian High School, where Jimmy Clausen played. Here's head coach Bill Riddell to introduce the Fighting Irish starting offense.
I had the privilege of coaching Jimmy Clausen in high school. He was 42-0 with 4 straight championships for us. While Jimmy is a great passer, his ability to compete is his greatest strength. Protecting Jimmy tonight is an offensive line led by center John Sullivan, making his 39th career start.
Thank you, Coach. So you're going to like the way your quarterback has started with 2 completions.
Yeah, and that's the way you build confidence in a young guy. I mean, already you can see he was clapping his hands and telling the guys, let's go. He's already feeling better. He's had some early success. He's 2 for 2. But they're also going to give him these little short passes all day long, because that's what when he gets into a long pass, it takes more time. He looks at his receivers all day long, and that's why he's got 3 interceptions. So they'll keep it short for a while.
Armando Allen replaces Aldridge in the backfield for Clausen as he goes in the shotgun and sends John Carlson in short motion. Third pass in a row is going to be a screen pass to Allen. And Allen gets close to a first down before he's tackled by Alteron Werner. Well, he holds the record for the most appearances in a Super Bowl by a player with 6. Here's former Bruin defensive standout Mike Lotus to introduce tonight's Bruin defense.
Getting the pressure on the quarterback all day will be number 44, Bruce Davis. Anchoring the middle linebacker position will be Christian Taylor. And the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Week last week will be Trey Brown in the secondary, locking the secondary down.
First running play for the Irish is not going to get much. James Aldridge on the carry. Chris Horton, second leading tackler for UCLA on the stop. Both safeties, Horton and Keys, lead the Bruin defense in tackles.
Yeah, and they call Horton the Bruin enforcer, too. He plays like a linebacker. They'll cheat him up in there. The thing is about Horton is he reads so quickly, and he has that quickness to get up in that hole before the guy can get going.
So on second down and long, it'll be 3 tight ends for Clausen as he goes under center. Fakes to Aldridge. A lot of time to throw. And he's going to go deep. He's got his tight end Carlson, but throws it too far out of bounds. Incomplete. Trey Brown on the coverage there, but Carlson was open initially. You got to talk. Think about this offensive line, Tim, the struggles they've had this year. 29 sacks they've given up, but so far, nobody has gotten anywhere near the young quarterback.
No, Brady Quinn was sacked 5 times last year when he played UCLA. 31 sacks this year. Come on.
Only converting 26% of the time on third down are the Irish. This will be 3rd and 9. Allen, the tailback. Carlson in motion. Clausen blitzed by UCLA. He can run. Directing traffic. He should have passed it to Carlson. Carlson would have picked up the first down. As it is, Aaron Whittington knocks Clausen out of bounds.
I tell you, that's the mobility. The mobility we're talking about, Jimmy Clausen, but he's got to learn to go down too. This is something even as a freshman you need to learn, because at the end of this play he gets tattooed. Watch Brown coming up. He's going to make the tackle, and then here comes the hit, the pursuit from behind, just pile driving.
I'm not sure he's got all that great of mobility with that bad hip. Remember, he actually bruised both his hips against Purdue last week.
Got around the corner, Dan. He's just got to go down before he gets the contact.
That's always good advice, my friend. Eric Moust is the punter for the Irish. We got flags. Notre Dame calls timeout before the play clock can run down.
You did make a great point, though. There's no pressure coming from the Bruins.
There'll be a 30-second timeout.
Offensive line allowed 31 sacks last year. They lost 3 players, 29 sacks already this year in 5 games, and no pressure from UCLA.
Notre Dame punt coming up. UCLA will have the ball when we come back, just underway from Pasadena. Yeah, the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame here in Pasadena. And our old buddy Keith Jackson, a member of the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame. And well, he should be. Well, Charlie Weiss has changed his punter during the timeout. This is Jeff White, the Price rather. Averages 41.2 a punt. And he'll let it go. Beautiful high spiral. Terrence Austin calls for a fair catch inside his 10-yard line and makes the catch at about the 7. I don't know if that's not a mistake on that 45-yard punt from Jeff Price.
Well, it's one of those deals. He wants to let it go. You're not supposed to field a punt inside the 10, but I think he felt like the coverage was there and may have gotten it even before it went into the end zone, and so he didn't want to lose any more yardage.
You know, it always seems like we hear that they're supposed to let it go if it goes past the 10-yard line. It's just all these kids are always catching the ball, though.
Well, and the deal is the punt was so high that the cover guys were already down and behind him. It could have made a stop on the football.
All right, first and 10 from the 7 for Ben Olsen. Khalil Bell is the tailback in the end zone. And he gets it right up the middle. Out to the 10, the 15. Good gain on first down for Khalil Bell. Well, he still holds the UCL record for touchdowns in a season with 26. Here's former Bruin Skip Hicks with tonight's UCLA starting offense.
Today, leading your Bruins as starting quarterback, Ben Olsen, who we definitely got to keep healthy today. And the job of keeping him healthy is the Big Uglies, who's anchored by center Chris Joseph.
Skip Hicks, a great running back for the Bruins. We'll be happy with that 9-yard gain on first down by Khalil Bell. Olsen will throw his first pass complete to Dominique Johnson across the 30-yard line. Tackled there by Maurice Crum. Notre Dame quarterback Jimmy Clausen was one of the most sought-after high school recruits ever. Here's his high school coach, Bill Riddell, to introduce Notre Dame's starting defense.
Defensively for Notre Dame, the front 7 is led by defensive end Trevor Laws. He leads the team in tackles. It'll be critical for that front 7 to shut down UCLA's running game. The secondary is led by strong safety Tom Zibikowski, who owns the school record for career tackles by a defensive back.
Thank you, Coach. Olsen throws too high for his tailback. Khalil Bell pressured that time by Maurice Crum.
You know, defensive coordinator Corwin Brown for the Irish says that whether the Irish are in a 3-4 or a 4-3, they can play it any way they want. The scheme is built for versatility. It's built for speed. And here you can see that they come up the middle and put pressure on Olsen. The key is that they've had to play so much base because the team is so young, they really haven't been able to apply that pressure. But we're seeing it early here from the Irish.
2nd down and 10 from the 32-yard line.
Here they come again.
And quick pass outside to his tight end, Logan Paulson. And Paulson's down the sidelines, good enough for the 3rd first down for UCLA here in the first quarter.
You know, this UCLA offensive line feels like they can dominate Washington like they did against Washington. They were just rolling against the Huskies, and they feel like that's the kind of team they are. And they want to do that here tonight against Notre Dame. They feel like they're big, they're strong, they should be able to control the line of scrimmage, and they want to run the football effectively. So far, we've seen a pretty good mix.
Irish will come with a 4-man line this time on 1st and 10 near midfield. Bell breaking a tackle across the 45-yard line. Wrapped up there by Maurice Crum and Pat Coots.
Take a look at this. We'll give you how this offensive unit ranks, and you see where they're 39th in points per game. They're 60th in passing yards, and they want to continue to improve their running game, and 39th in total yards. That's not bad. They're getting the balance they want, and because of that balance, they're more effective on the corners.
College game has changed a bit when 32 points per game ranks you 39th in the country, hasn't it? Here's Paulson in motion, and Bell right up the middle one more time. Gets across midfield, and he's stopped there. John Hunt, number 90, one of the tacklers, along with weak safety David Bruton.
This defensive unit is being aggressive here early on. You see what they've done throughout the year. 96th in points allowed. Rushing yards, 107th. Haven't been able to stop many people. And nobody's really had to throw on them, so they've done quite well there. They're 7th. 355 yards a game. That's a lot.
And Ben Olsen will call timeout on this 3rd down and 4 coming up. Good play selection for the Bruins. 3 passes, 3 runs, and they're already out to midfield. But they have to burn a timeout early in the ball game. It'll be 3rd down and 4 when we come back. You're watching ESPN College Football on ABC. Aerial coverage provided to you by Goodyear. Football's rough, but your commute shouldn't be. So get there on Goodyear Silent Armor technology. It seems like that blimp and this stadium go hand in hand. First critical play for the defense of Notre Dame on 3rd and 4 from midfield. Khalil Bell is to this near side, empty backfield for Olsen. He'll throw. And the ball knocked away.
Notre Dame has brought the blitz 4 times already in the first quarter, and they're being effective. Now, it was a pretty good drive by UCLA, but twice they got to Olsen right after he threw it, and they hit him. This time they knocked the ball down. So the blitz is being somewhat effective against the Bruins. Boy, what a terrific play there by Crum to get up number 40, knock that ball away right in the passing lane.
Crum got the ball, and Kuntz got the quarterback. Big play defensively for the Irish. Aaron Perez, a great punter, standing at his 35-yard line for the Bruins. Nice high, lazy spiral. This one will bounce inside the 10 and take a UCLA bounce at the 11-yard line. Well, next Saturday on ABC, Penn State will defend its home turf against the 1-loss Wisconsin Badgers. And in other regional action, some of you will see South Carolina take on North Carolina, Texas A&M versus Texas Tech, or Tim and I will be down the road just a little bit at the Coliseum for Arizona and USC college football, presented by Best Buy next Saturday on ABC. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern with College Football Countdown. College football lives here. 11-yard lines where Notre Dame will take over. Armando Allen is the tailback. Quick pass outside to Golden Tate, and he ain't even getting back to the line of scrimmage. Dennis Keys from his weak safety spot there, reacting quickly.
Got a great shot, too. Watch the corner to safety, running right at the football, breaking down, coming under control, and making terrific hit. Boy, if you can come like that, under control, inside out, now you've got the advantage over the ball carrier. He runs out of space. Now you just go after it.
Well, Tate lost a couple on that play. They're going to give forward progress to the line of scrimmage. That's unusual. Aesop Schwab in motion as the Bruins blitz. Aldridge left side will pick up about a yard. Christian Taylor, the middle linebacker, number 33, with another hit.
Yeah, he's the signal caller of the defense. He's in on almost every play. Look at Notre Dame's offense. These are the numbers we were talking about. They're all in the 100s. Total yards, 118th in the nation. Not really Notre Dame like, at least what we've seen in the past. And Charlie Weiss has taken the brunt of the criticism.
And how many teams are in the nation? 119.
Charlie Weiss has gone 9-3, 10-3, 0-5, and another timeout.
And Charlie Weiss wants to talk to this young man as Notre Dame takes their second timeout here in the first quarter.
See, I didn't like UCLA's first timeout. I do like this one. Crowd's getting into it. Notre Dame looked a little bit confused. The defense had two terrific defensive plays. You don't want them to get the momentum and have your young quarterback make a mistake here. Settle him down. Let's get some punting room. Let's get it out of here.
Yeah, the young quarterback made a good play. We just counted the number of players in the huddle. There were 12. In that Irish huddle. So heads up by the quarterback, Jimmy Clausen.
That was the confusion that had everybody yelling and screaming on that Notre Dame sideline.
And if he doesn't call timeout and the 12th player leaves, then they get flagged for illegal participation. Too many men in the huddle. So Weiss has given the play to the young freshman on 3rd and 9 from the 12.
UCLA averages 3 sacks a game. They're going to be coming with some heat here.
Aesop Schwab is the remaining back to add pass protection. Robbie Paris in motion. Paris makes the catch and then gets hit by Trey Brown and Alteron Werner.
UCLA only rushed 4, but they had great coverage. One thing about this secondary for UCLA, it's experienced, and I mean it reads the eyes of the quarterback and breaks in a hurry. Look at Werner. Inside and outside.
This is a veteran secondary for the Bruins. Keys, Horton, and Brown, all seniors, as is Rodney Van, who's battling a bad ankle. Jeff Price back deep for the Irish, standing on his 1-yard line. UCLA setting up a return for Terrence Austin as he signals for a fair catch. A wise idea at the 47-yard line. 37-yard punt for Jeff Price. Great field position for the Bruins when we come back. You're watching Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines as Notre Dame Fighting Irish challenge the UCLA Bruins. Due to time constraints, we move ahead to further action. Thank you, Matt. That play went for 8 yards. A running play to Joe Cowan. The tailback now for the Bruins is Khalil Bell. That ball thrown behind Johnson against the blitz. That would have been a first down for UCLA, but the young sophomore from Moreno Valley couldn't make the catch, thrown just a bit behind him.
I really do like the way they're mixing their plays, though.
Todd?
Dan, keep an eye on number 1, Brandon Brazil. His coach describes him as tough as piano wire. I wondered why. Well, during the BYU game, he had 3 front teeth knocked out, the 8, 9, and the 10. He had to have 2 root canals. He's had a bone graft, and he's been playing. He has not missed any practice time. I saw him just before the game, and he told me, I'm in a lot of pain. I said, why? He said, I just broke the 2 front teeth again this morning, biting down on something. That's the kind of stuff that just makes you go, not good.
Won't make mama happy.
Reminds you of the marathon man just a touch, huh? UCLA had 2 men in motion. They will not pick up the first down on 3rd down.
Replay, 3rd down.
Yeah, the point I was going to make is it's a pretty good series here until this penalty. I mean, they ran that little Cowan flip back, the little lateral, then they came with the quick hit pass on the slant, and they were coming back with a running game and get the penalty here, so they hurt themselves. You don't want those negative plays, but they had a pretty good mixture going, and Carl Durrell knows it.
So that penalty backs the Bruins up right to the midfield stripe. Khalil Bell is the tailback on 3rd and 7. Olsen rolling left, firing. He's got a wide open Brazil at the 35. Brazil looking for more. And Brazil gets down to the 31-yard line. First down, UCLA. Ambrose Wooden with the stop.
Yeah, and he tried to run Wooden over at the end of it. Boy, they've got a good mix now. UCLA's in a rhythm. Watch the inside receiver, number 1, Brazil. Just gives that little out move, and the ball's waiting here right now. Sit down in the soft area, make the catch. Now watch the tag at the end of this. He delivers the blow to the safety, or the corner rather, Wooden.
19 yards on that 3rd and 7 for the Bruins. Leading receiver for the Bruins, Brandon Brazil, with a big play there.
Yeah, Brazil's only about 160 pounds, but he's a big-time player.
Bell's the tailback as the play clock's running down. Just gets it off, and Olsen throws it all the way over the top of Terrence Austin. Miscommunication there.
Keep in mind, Terrence Austin's a young guy. He's only a sophomore. He read that he was open short, and that's his call. He's going to read that and make his break. He's got to read the defender, and then Olsen has to read him. But Olsen read that he was going long.
Not in my playbook, my friend. The quarterback's always right. The receiver broke off his route and should have kept going deep, but that's a story for another day, perhaps.
How about those tree routes, brother?
Mr. Linebacker. Here's 2nd and 10 for Olsen. Over the middle. And a big hit by Crum on Cowan. The Cowan bounces off. Gets inside the 25-yard line.
Olsen now 4 for 8. He's starting to get into a rhythm. He's throwing on time.
And Cowan is down. That big hit by Maurice Crum may have knocked the wind out of him.
Hope that's all it is. The Cowans have really had their share of injuries. Joe Cowan there had the knee injury last year. His brother's out with a knee injury now, the quarterback. Watch the end of this play. Cowan just dragging across the middle and was extremely vulnerable to the linebacker Crum for the hit. But he still tucked it away, but took care of the ball and went down before he tried to catch his breath.
He might have popped a rib or two on this hit from Crum. When you talk about the Cowans with Pat out, that means that Bruins have only one experienced quarterback, and that's Ben Olsen, and he had concussion problems after that loss to Utah.
Yeah, the backup now is McLeod Bethel-Thompson, the redshirt freshman. And he's a walk-on. It's good to see Cowan get up, though, and get off the field. I like the way he finished the play after the hit.
No kid.
Still tucked the ball away, protected it, got a couple more yards.
I thought you were going to say you liked his blonde hair. 3rd and 3 for the Bruins. 2 tight ends, William Snead and Logan Paulson in the game. Trevor Theriot, the fullback. And Bill gets it right side, makes one miss. And gets real close to that first down line. He's got the first down.
Dan, one of the things Notre Dame has not done well this year is wrap up. And with Khalil Bell, you better wrap up, grab cloth, and beg for help. But watch this. There's 2 missed tackles. And finally, he gets up to the first down marker and moves the chains. But they've got to wrap up, and they don't do that when they tackle.
Bell, 6 foot, 211 pounds. He's a junior from San Anselmo, California. Played his high school ball at Marin Catholic. And really provides power for the Bruins.
They want him to touch the ball at least 20 times tonight.
Well, he will, because Chris Marquis is not going to play. So here's Bell left side. And the Irish take him down there. Fine play by Kerry Neal, the true freshman from Bunn, North Carolina. Chris Marquis out with a injury, Tim.
Yeah, they said he was almost 100%, but they didn't want to ruin that as they get ready for more Pac-10 and being the top of the heap here in the Pac-10. They want him for the stretch run. So they keep Bell in there. We're also going to see Christian Ramirez tonight, and Jay Moline.
No gain for Bell as the Bruins just outside the red zone. Dominique Johnson at the bottom of the screen. Olsen is going to run. 15, looking for the sideline, diving for the first down. And he's going to come up about a half a yard short.
He wasn't going to take a hit, I'll tell you that.
Well, not from that guy, Tom Zibikowski. You're going to dive for that out of bounds, aren't you?
Zibikowski, as we know, is the leader on that defense. He'll tattoo you. He's also a Golden Glove and professional boxer, 1-0 in the pro ranks in boxing. But if you watch, he sees the open area, and now he sees Zibikowski and tries to get to the sidelines. I don't blame him for diving out of bounds.
Actually, Olsen just a yard short of the first down. 3rd down and 1. Here's Bell behind Theriot. First down, Bruins. Maurice Crum with another stop, but not before Bell easily picked up the first down.
Khalil Bell is 6 foot, 211 pounds. He's a junior. Marquis out is 5'10", 210. And if you look at what they do, this is the comparison. But keep in mind, Marquis ran for 1,000 yards and had 35 catches last year. He was the top dog. And Bell came in, was kind of the change-up runner. He has 522 yards. So all of a sudden, you've got a 1-2 punch here that is very, very strong going into Pac-10 stretch run. Going into the Pac-10 stretch run.
First and goal for the Bruins. 10th play of the drive, and we've got a flag. Delay of game. Again, sometimes this
delay
seems
of
like
game on the offense.
It happens
Number 7,
more to teams that run the West Coast
remains.
offense.
First
Whatever
down.
it is, those are 2 bad negative plays here in the first quarter. Just bad negative plays. And Carl Jarrell knows that. This has been a slow starting team all year. We talked to Carl about it. He's thinking of every way imaginable to get them going. But that's the 2nd time they've hurt themselves badly with a penalty, unnecessary penalty.
And Joe Cowan is back in the lineup. He's the lone wide receiver, top of the screen. Still first and goal for Bell. Flag down.
Another one.
That was thrown after the ball was snapped. That might have been someone lining up in the neutral zone, Tim.
You know, Notre Dame has been outscored 47-14 in the first quarter. 101-21 in the first half. And they've held UCLA here with a goose egg on the board because the Bruins are hurting themselves.
Legal formation on the offense. Only 6 players on the line of scrimmage. Penalties decline. 2nd down.
That's our referee for tonight, Gerard McGinn. This is a Big East crew, but our replay officials are from the Pac-10.
2 guys to watch. Brazil and the tight end.
Olsen looking for Brazil. Ball knocked out the line of scrimmage. Trevor Laws, the senior, leading tackler for the Bruins with that deflection. I mean, for the Irish, rather.
Yeah, and again, he jumped right in the passing lane. Very unusual for a defensive lineman to lead the defense in tackling. But look how mobile he is. Had the bull rush going, and then he saw Olsen was ready to throw, so he broke it off and dove in that passing lane.
That's a spectacular play by Trevor Laws.
Trevor Laws will be playing on Sundays.
3rd and goal now for the Bruins. Bell, the tailback. 3-step drop, fade route to Dominique Johnson. Incomplete. Darren Walls there battling with the 6'3" Dominique Johnson.
Coaches love DJ. They say he still doesn't know how good he can be, but he's got to make this catch. This is a jump ball. He's got the height advantage. It's on his hands. He's got to pull it in.
The great thing Walls did, Tim, is he forced Johnson to come to the inside where he had help from Bruton coming over.
Well, and you talked about Johnson's size. He's got great size, and he's been super in the red zone. He still has to make that catch.
This is Kai Forbath from 29 yards out, and he's got it. Kai Forbath, the redshirt freshman from Notre Dame High School, now made 11 of his last 12 field goals, and UCLA is on the board. You're watching Saturday Night College Football on ABC. San Gabriel Mountains providing the backdrop for this beautiful stadium. Expecting a crowd over 80,000 or so. Notre Dame traveled upwards of 20,000 fans out here to Pasadena for this ball game.
You know, Notre Dame has to feel pretty good about making that stop and keeping it to a field goal because UCLA had scored a touchdown all 8 goal-to-goal situations prior to that one.
That's Jimmy Rothstein kicking off, and Armando Allen with the return. Good return for the Irish. They'll have their best field position to start a drive here in the first quarter.
You know how you know you're having a bad season? Look at this. You've been outscored 50-14 in the first quarter this year. Charlie Weiss has to change that. He knows he has to change that. To make matters worse, he's been outscored 104-21 in the first half.
But they're only down 3-0. So look at the silver lining, if you will. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Fake to Allen. Clausen got his tight end Carlson knocked out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. Reggie Carter pushed him out there.
Terrific ball handling by Jimmy Clausen, too. Bruce Davis was the contained man on that side. He bit on the fake and went shallow down the line of scrimmage, which put Clausen on the outside all by himself, had all day to throw. Look at this. He gets on the outside. Now 44 is trying to chase him down, Davis. By then, it's too late.
That's similar to the play previously when Clausen kept the ball and came up short of the first down when he elected to run it. Allen's the tailback. Bunch formation, the bottom of the screen. Here's the reverse to Tate. And Bruce Davis rips him down, but he may have grabbed the face mask.
You know what? Fool me once, but don't fool me twice. Davis that time read it perfectly, and again was the contained man on the other side and came up with a great pursuit angle and turned this baby in. And to get there, he had to defeat the tight end Carlson. Davis is saying he didn't get the mask, but then again, who says they're guilty?
Personal foul. Face mask on the defense. Number 44. Face mask.
Don't they always say they don't get the face mask?
They do, but pictures don't lie,
down.
Dan. Here's 44. Watch his right hand. Goes up. The thumb is right in the face mask. So, yes, sir, he got him. And they'll move it down, and Davis can say he's innocent all he wants and shake his head, but he knows incidental face mask. He had his thumb caught in there.
I'm not sure that was all that incidental. This was going to go 15 yards against the Bruins. He had a lot of grill in that right hand.
I think it was just that thumb, but his hand was up around the ear hole.
So into Bruin territory for the first time tonight go the Irish. Armando Allen is the tailback. And he gets the fake. Clausen with all day to throw. Down the sideline trying to get it to Allen and throw the ball away. Todd Harris, you've got a little bit more on this offensive line of the Irish. Doing pretty good tonight.
Yeah, no question, Dan. During that last change of possession, John Latita, the offensive line coach of Notre Dame, sat his troops down and very calmly said, hey, don't worry about the big plays. Let's just focus on moving the chains and continuing to get first downs. And I got to tell you, from all the tape we've watched of Notre Dame's previous 5 games, they have never looked so calm on the sideline. No one's riled up. Jimmy Clausen playing catch with Devin Sharpley during the change of possession. Both guys relaxed, smiling. Looks like they're enjoying their time here in Pasadena.
Thank you, Todd. This is James Aldridge. Big hole right up the middle. And a good gain on second down for the Irish.
So Notre Dame is playing well defensively. Notre Dame is playing well offensively. They're calm on the sidelines. They're playing with confidence. And that's exactly what you don't want if you're UCLA. You want to keep an 0-5 team down. That was a big hole by that offensive line. So the bottom line is I think somebody held a seance and woke up the echoes because this team right now is playing with confidence.
And behind Big John Sullivan, the senior from Old Greenwich, Connecticut, and Mike Turkovich. Golden Tate now shifting to the top of the screen.
He's your deep threat.
Clausen looking that way. Now he comes back the other side to Allen, and the ball sails over his head. Aaron Whittington closing fast.
Oh, baby, was he closing fast, and he was hoping that he'd throw it in that direction because he had visions of an interception and touchdown.
Wipe your chin, my friend.
And just drooling. He sees him. And look at him breaking on that football. If that ball's thrown a little bit out in front and he leads him a little bit lower, Whittington's saying, look out, baby.
Big stop for the Bruins on that third down. This is Jeff Price for his third punt of the evening. And he gets off a tail dragger and into the end zone. Ball was knocked out of the end zone by David Bruton. But this will be a touchback, and the ball will come out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it was almost a very good punt, just a little bit too long. Price has had 4 inside the 20. Got that 41-yard average. Just got a little bit too much leg into this thing. But he wants to hit this thing and deaden it right there on the 3, but it took that big bounce forward.
Good block by Terrence Austin, keeping Bruton away from downing that ball on the 1-yard line. 1:29 to go here in the first quarter. UCLA on top by 3. Ben Olsen just 4 out of 10 here in the first quarter, and unable to get the Bruins in the end zone last time they were down in the red zone.
Just have that feeling, though, at some point they're going to hit Brazil for a big play.
Now he's in the slot, and the fake is to Bell. Pressure by Zibikowski, and a fumble.
Scoop and score.
Scoop up by Kerry Neal down to the 1-yard line. Tom Zibikowski with the sack, the strip. Kerry Neal with the recovery, and it's Notre Dame ball. And Ben Olsen is limping off the field. Limping badly on his left knee.
Zibikowski comes off the corner untouched. Olsen faces him as a left-hander, but never really felt him. He's got to tuck that ball away. This is a terrific defensive play by Zibikowski. Very alert here to scoop and try to score. UCLA in business. I mean, Notre Dame in business.
Trevor Thomas is the tailback. 3 tight ends for Notre Dame at the 1-yard line. Aesop Schwab, the big fullback, in the backfield with Thomas. Ragone in motion. Fake to Thomas. Clausen in trouble. Clausen goes down. Bruce Davis with another sack for UCLA. What a play. Clausen's got to throw that ball away, though.
Bruce Davis, 12.5 sacks a year ago. Just runs around Turkovic. And Clausen holding on way too long. Bruce Davis is an All-American. You can't hold on to that football very long as you look at Olsen in serious trouble now. He's putting absolutely no pressure on that, and you can see the frustration.
Loss of 7 on the play. Fake to Allen. Clausen throwing back to his tight end. Incomplete. Carlson had Kyle Bosworth beat, but couldn't make the catch, or he might have scored.
Clausen put it right on Carlson's fingertips, too. You know, Carlson had 6 catches last week for 30 yards. This time, he's got the linebacker ISO'd, and he's one-on-one, and it just bounces right off his fingertips. He's got to make that catch. Instead, it looks like he's got boards there. It just bounced right off.
You know, he knew he had Bosworth beat. I think he was looking to see how far he had to go to get into the end zone.
Big 3rd down here.
3rd and goal. Carlson shifts. Now Clausen goes to the shotgun. Bruins just rushed 4. Pressure. Clausen to the end zone. Incomplete. Robbie Parrish, the intended receiver. The Irish blow a golden opportunity. 1st and goal at the UCLA 1, and they don't get 6.
More importantly, UCLA's got to be worried about Olsen and bringing in a walk-on now to direct this offense. Here's Bethel Thompson right here. He's a walk-on from Balboa High School in San Francisco.
Now this number 14 is true freshman Brandon Walker. The left footer ties the game. 26-yard field goal by Brandon Walker.
How about this, partner? Talk about drama. You talk about a change of events.
Well, let's check in now with Matt Weiner. Matt, what do you think? Thank you, Matt. Major concern on that UCLA sideline for their offense, but their defense has got to be awful happy. The big play by Bruce Davis getting the sack, the incomplete pass to Carlson, and then pressure again on Clausen forced the incomplete on 3rd down.
Yeah, I agree. There's no question Wayne Walker's defense really picked it up, but there is devastation now on that UCLA sideline. With Pat Cowan already out of the ballgame with a knee injury. Now here's Ben Olsen. He goes out and they're working on him on the trainer's table. And now you've got to bring in that kid right there, McLeod Bethel Thompson, who is a walk-on, 19 years old, out of the Bay Area. Now I will say, one of the scouting reports said he's the best to come out of San Francisco since you, Dan Fouts. We'll see.
Matthew Slater, who already has a kickoff return for a touchdown, gets out across the 25-yard line. Let's go back and take a look at the injury to Olsen.
Zbikowski coming hard off the corner, never did slow down, got a good vision on him. Trying to strip the ball, and he does. Oh, it looks like his leg got caught.
Now, last year he hurt his right knee. That appears to be an injury to his left knee. You can see the brace on his right knee.
His leg got tangled underneath there, and he just fell awkwardly. So here's your story tonight. McLeod Bethel Thompson.
Balboa High School in San Francisco. He'll start the Bruins out at the 27-yard line. Almost fumbled the snap. We got flags down now.
Wow.
Todd, you got more on Olsen.
Yeah, Dan, it looks like all the worst fears are realized for the UCLA Bruins. As Ben Olsen was coming off the field, I saw him talk to the athletic trainer, and he said, I heard it pop. Now, it's his left knee, as you pointed out. He's injured the other one last year, which is already heavily braced, but he seems to be not in that much pain for someone that if you popped your left knee. I'm not going to speak because I've never done it, but he did say as he walked off, I heard it pop.
Well, if you watch it here, you can see his leg gets caught under Trevor Laws, and he's injured right away. He grabs for that knee, but it got caught under Laws, and he fell awkwardly.
A penalty against the Bruins, their fourth here in the first quarter. Brings up a first down and 15. Paulson in motion. Bell gets it, and he gets out to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and you got to believe Bell's going to get it a lot now, because Bethel Thompson, you can't believe he's going to be sitting back there throwing as much as Olsen would. I mean, this is a kid that was just honorable mention All-Met in high school out of Balboa. Comes in here from San Francisco as a walk-on. They said he's got a good release, but he hadn't had very many reps, and this is his first actual playing time. And he's doing it in front of 90,000 people against Notre Dame at the Rose Bowl.
This presentation of Saturday Night Football, presented by Southwest Airlines, will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Back at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, where we've got a tie ball game to start the second quarter. McLeod Bethel Thompson will throw his first collegiate pass, and it's complete for about 6 inches of gain.
1 for 1.
Patrick Cowan, who hurt his knee against Washington a couple of weeks back, on the sideline. So that means the backup quarterback to Bethel Thompson will be Osar Rashan, a sophomore from Pomona, California.
Pat Cowan's got the heart of a lion. He's a really tough guy, and it was hurting him the other day when we were out at practice at UCLA, and he came up and shook our hands. He wants to be out there more than anything, and he can't with that knee.
So Bethel Thompson from the shotgun. Pressure from Laws, and Laws has got him inside the 10-yard line. Trevor Laws with the sack.
Trevor Laws is a major disruptor, a hole clogger, a chaotic force. I mean, he just keeps coming. He's at the bottom of your screen, 98, with a little twist move, and there in front of him is Bethel Thompson. He's the one that hit Olsen. Olsen got tangled up with him, hurt his knee. Now he comes in with the sack on Bethel Thompson.
I've never heard of a defensive end leading a team in tackles, but that's what Laws has done so far for the Irish. Here's Perez punting out of his end zone. Zbikowski at the 45. Zbikowski struggling down to the Irish 46-yard line.
I'm going to tell you right now, this game is going to have to be won or lost by the UCLA defense.
Now we got ourselves a ball game here at the Rose Bowl. You're watching ESPN College Football. 3-3 is our score. Notre Dame penalty on that punt return. An illegal block has pushed the ball back to the 35-yard line. Still decent field position for Jimmy Clausen. Aldridge trying to cut back over the middle, but Dennis Keys is right there coming up quickly from his safety spot.
This first half has been a nightmare for the Bruins as you look at Keys getting back up. But UCLA has had 4 penalties. Their quarterbacks have been sacked twice. Olsen is out of the ball game with an injury. The defense now has to rise to the occasion and carry this load, because this Notre Dame team is young enough to know that if they get things rolling, they can win here.
This is Duval Camara lining up incorrectly. Clausen straightens him out with 3 tight ends, and James Aldridge Carlson in motion. Fake to Aldridge. Fake to Carlson down the middle. Into double coverage. And Keys can't make the catch. Incomplete. Dennis Keys had it, but juggled it going out of bounds.
Perfect coverage. They bracketed. They had Kamara all the way. And then here's Keys with the short interception, but pulls it in and bobbles it as he goes out of bounds. Things just aren't going the way that UCLA had planned here in the first half. Plenty of opportunities. Notre Dame, long third down, and they're 0 for 4 on third down conversions. Correct? Yeah, they're 0 for 4.
And they're 1 of 27 when the third down is more than 10 yards. Here's Robbie Paris in motion. Three-man rush for the Bruins, and Davis has got the quarterback at the 30-yard line. Second sack of the night for Bruce Davis. There's your defense rising up, Tim.
Well, they had to do it. Davis is just unstoppable in the end. Watch 44 here at the bottom of your screen. Just coming and running right around Young. Sam Young, the big 310-pounder, never had a chance against Davis, who's 234 and lightning quick. Boy, he's an effort guy, isn't he? Plays with a passion.
He now has 22.5 sacks in his Bruin career. Jeff Price from his 20-yard line, and he has a nice high spiral. Terrence Austin makes the catch and then gets tackled immediately by David Bruton. Great coverage by the Irish under that 48-yard punt by Jeff Price. 3-3 is our score. And back at the Rose Bowl, McLeod Bethel-Thompson's the quarterback because of injuries to these quarterbacks. Pat Cowan against Washington after an interception. Another turnover for the Bruins results in another injured quarterback, Zibikowski. And Trevor Laws take down Ben Olsen.
And there's a look at Pat Cowan, and there's Olsen, and the walking wounded for UCLA.
Well, Khalil Bell will be a busy man. He gets it left side here. Gets out across the 25-yard line.
You know, Dan, that wouldn't be a bad thing either. That's when you come into the huddle, you look at your offensive line, and you say, hey, we're just going to give them a steady diet of Khalil Bell. Let's just start opening holes.
Well, it makes sense if you look at what the Irish have yielded this season. On average, a game 210 yards to their opponent on the ground. Why wouldn't you run the ball?
Well, especially you have a quarterback who really hasn't thrown many passes. He's thrown one here, and you say, all right, the rules of the game change. Now it's straight ahead, no fair dodging.
Here's Bell. Crum's got him, but not before Bell gets close to the 30-yard line. Time now to check in with Matt Weiner again. Matt?
Now Bell goes out with an injury, and so now you've got Ramirez at tailback for UCLA.
Actually, it's Shane Moline, the sophomore for San Juan Capistrano's got the ball and the first down. That's what he does so well at 6'1", 225. One of the three Moline brothers on this Bruin squad.
Here's another look at Bell. Watch the end of this play. They wrap up his legs. He's trying for extra yardage, and he just gets slammed down on that shoulder. And that's the first thing he reached for.
So Moline will stay in the ballgame as the tailback. Two tight ends, two wide receivers for the Bruins. Brazil at the bottom of the screen. And that's where McLeod Thompson goes. And Brazil's got it. First down, UCLA. Ambrose Wooden throws him out of bounds.
And I'll tell you something. That was a well-thrown ball right there by Bethel-Thompson.
I'm not sure if I'm Notre Dame, though. I'm playing off these receivers. I would be up close on them in press coverage.
Sure.
And make Bethel-Thompson make the tough throw, not the easy, quick throw like this one.
Well, there he is. He was up. Backed out of there. Wooden gave him a lot of respect. But that ball was well thrown. Stepped into it and released. Got it there in a hurry.
Khalil Bell back in the game at the 40-yard line. Bethel-Thompson throws a backwards pass to Bell. Bell down the sidelines. I think it's a big hit on the sidelines. Maurice Crum. broke the tackle of Crum and then met Mr. Wooden on the sidelines. Wow, what a hit.
That's the second big hit by Wooden in this ball game. Watch this. Bam. Woo. That'll check your feelings. Your eyes rolled into your head.
It just hurts his shoulder, and Wooden goes right for the shoulder. 190 pounds, just drove Bell backwards.
Walked back to the huddle drooling.
And Moline is in the game. You get some of this, Shane. And he gets hit at the line of scrimmage.
I thought we were going to see Ramirez. He started to come off the sidelines when Bell went out with a little stinger or whatever he had there in his shoulder. But instead, Moline comes in. He's got a 6-yard average and only 7 carries. He's usually their short yardage back. Ben Olsen still trying to walk this thing off.
Yeah, they put a brace on that left knee. But this does not look like a guy that's going to be in the lineup anytime soon.
No.
3rd and 2 for the Bruins. Khalil Bell back in the game, showing his toughness. Bethel Thompson, quick pass thrown behind his tight end Logan Paulson. Zibikowski was right there looking for the pick.
You know, people are seeing this score across the country as he comes in, 3-3. And all of a sudden they're saying, what? Notre Dame, 0-5, Notre Dame. What happened to the Fighting Irish and what happened to UCLA?
This is Aaron Perez. That's Tom Zibikowski. Zibikowski, 3 career touchdowns on punt returns. We'll let this one go. And it'll be down inside the 2-yard line. Matthew Slater, after Mike Norris knocked the ball to him, will pin the Irish deep in their own end of the field. You're watching ESPN College Football on ABC. These beautiful pictures of the Rose Bowl provided to you by Goodyear. This game is a rough one. Your commute shouldn't be, so get there on Goodyear Silent Armor technology. These quarterbacks could use a little silent armor this evening. 2-yard lines where Notre Dame will start. And we got movement on both sides of the ball. Jess Ward jumped in there, but I thought I saw an Irish offensive man move first.
Prior to snap, offsides. On the defense, number 52.
That is
This contact on the offensive lineman, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
5 penalties against the Bruins here in the first half. Can't do this. You just have to have more discipline than this defensively.
Yeah, he made contact, came across and hit Matt Carufel. That's a break for the Irish, getting all the way out to the 7-yard line now. 1st and 5. James Aldridge. This is Aesop Schwab getting out close to the 10-yard line. Rare carry for Schwab, just his 3rd this season.
They haven't scored many points, but this offense hasn't made too many mistakes either. They've taken care of the ball, and they've let UCLA give them a chance here. Clausen, one of those guys, he's 20 years old, and he's just kind of learning as he goes along, but they had momentum last week in the second half against Purdue. They carried that momentum through practice this week, and they're trying to carry it here.
Schwab in motion. Fake to Aldridge. Clausen in big trouble, tosses it into the stands. Let's check in with Matt Weiner. Matt? Thank you, Matt. 0 for 5 on 3rd down for the Irish. 3rd down and 3. Carlson in motion. Allen, the tailback. And Carlson's got the reception, and he's got a 1st down. Trey Brown knocked him off his feet, but Carlson diving picked up the 1st.
There certainly are a lot of critics of Jimmy Clausen. But he just turned 20. He started kindergarten when he was 6 years old. He repeated 6th grade so that his parents wanted him to mature. They also wanted him to grow up. They thought that would help him athletically and academically. High school, they called him the LeBron James of high school football. You can just see him gaining confidence as this season goes on, despite the 0-5 record.
Picked up a huge first down there. Aldridge is the tailback. 2 tight ends for the Irish. Notre Dame back to pass. Clausen going deep to Tate. That ball is intercepted. Alteron Werner with the interception, flag down.
They're going to call pass interference on Werner. They're going to say Werner jumped right in front of Tate and stopped his route.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 1, 15-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Automatic.
Now here
First
it is.
down.
Now he's got good coverage, jumps in his hip pocket, runs with him. Now he looks back. Watch his left arm. Will jump out and he get right in front of Tate. Makes the interception. I don't know. I mean, he's got every right to go to that football. He's looking up at the ball. Tate's running into him.
He had both hands, though, on Tate. Can't do that. Both hands were on the receiver. If he did not do that, just look back for the ball, he'd have himself an interception.
In front of Tate.
Still, you cannot impede him and put your hands on him.
Hands are going up for the football.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. As the fans see the replay, Allen's got a good gain for another first down for the Irish. Christian Taylor finally gets him, but that was an 11-yard gain for Armando Allen. Some of the young players making a statement today. The freshman from Opelika, Florida.
He's got good speed, too, doesn't he? Florida kid, 4.38 speed. Got to Notre Dame early. Was part of spring practice after missing his senior year with a broken leg. They love him in South Bend.
He gets a rest on the sidelines. Aldridge in. Carlson in motion. Clausen rolling right. Throws short to Carlson. Carlson's got another catch and another positive play for Notre Dame.
Clausen's just dinking and dunking, but when he's gone long, he's gotten the yardage he wants on pass interference and other penalties that UCLA has given him.
Penalties really piling up on UCLA. 5 here in the first half, and we still have over half of the second quarter to go. Allen back in the tailback spot for the Irish. 2nd and 3. Robbie Parris in motion. Trying to set up a screen, and Clausen throws the ball away. Heavy pressure that time by Corey Bosworth, twin brother of linebacker Kyle Bosworth.
UCLA's defense has played well this entire first half. They're starting to shut down Davis, though. Young had his hand on his shoulder pads, and then here comes Bosworth on the other side. So they're bookending him now.
Not a good sign to see grass stains on your quarterback's shoulder pads. But he has been knocked down a number of times. Charlie Weiss will put 3 tight ends in the ball game. Carlson, Yateman, and Ragone. 3rd down and 3. Fake to Aldridge. Clausen to throw for it. Going deep to Golden Tate. And it's almost intercepted. Dennis Keys with his 2nd shot at a pick. Can't make that catch either. You know, they had success throwing deep balls last week to Golden Tate. UCLA watched the tape of that Purdue game, and they said, not to this evening, you're not.
See, I thought Tate interfered right there. That should have been offensive pass interference. Watch this. Ball's in the air. There's his hand. Pulls his shoulder. That's pass interference on Tate.
But you could call the arm bar on Dennis Keys as well, my friend. No call. Jeff Price will punt it one more time. This is Terrence Austin. Fair catch signal at the 14-yard line. David Bruton under that punt with good coverage again for the Irish. 7:37 to go in the first half in a tie ball game from Pasadena. Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines as Notre Dame Fighting Irish challenge the UCLA Bruins. Due to time constraints, we move ahead to further action. Thank you, Matt. 2nd and 4 for Bethel Thompson. The ball deflected by Kuntz at the line of scrimmage and almost intercepted by Zibikowski.
And they'll bring up a 3rd down.
That's the 3rd pass that the Irish have deflected at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're getting in his passing lanes, and UCLA just 1 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. Again, he just kind of slides over. Kuntz has that big body at 6'3". Got right in the passing lane. Zibikowski almost had that baby.
Huge play for both teams. Pressure on Bethel Thompson, gets away, but not the 2nd time. Brian Smith had him initially and then just kept after him.
Boy, this is not a good play. Bethel Thompson, he looks to the left, stays to the left, never looks off the receiver. He's got pressure coming, and it'll bring up 4th down and a long field goal, 50 yards.
Kerry Neal made the tackle after Brian Smith forced him out of the pocket. 49 yards out of the hold of Aaron Perez. Kai Forbath on its way. It's long enough. It is good.
Boy, Forbath was confident, came out, set up, got a good plant. This baby was right down Main Street, just split the sticks. 6'3" Bruins.
And you know, for a long kick, a lot of times those balls will come out low, susceptible to being blocked. That ball was high from the get-go.
Had all kinds of air under it. That's what I mean. He came out, he was confident, he got that good plant foot, just took that leg and swung it right through it.
Well, Jimmy Clausen's coming back to his home state where he started at Oak Christian High School. Never lost a game in high school. 42-0 in 3 seasons. They won 4 straight Division III state titles while Clausen was there. And he left Oaks Christian doing just that. A California State high school record, 144 touchdown passes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they called him the LeBron James of high school football. And he's an older guy. And I know that even you were surprised by the fact that he's 20 years old. He started kindergarten at 6 years old. His parents had him take the 6th grade over again because they wanted him to be more mature. They wanted him to grow up athletically and academically. Boy, he's a big-time player.
Well, we'll see how he handles the hurry-up offense, and I do mean hurry up. Armando Allen gets out to about the 29-yard line. Yeah, the key play in this first half was when Bruce Davis sacked Clausen when Notre Dame had 1st and goal at the UCLA 1 after the Olsen fumble.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do here is throw a pick. You've got 26 seconds to work, and you cannot throw into coverage. Keys almost has picked off 2 balls already tonight. Davis is going to be coming with the pressure.
Just 1 timeout remaining. This is a tall order for even a guy like Joe Montana, let alone Jimmy Clausen. But he'll go from the shotgun formation. He'll throw to the sideline. Dangerous pass, but it's caught by Duval Camara.
And stops the clock with 19 seconds left. Boy, he went right underneath because Harris was coming up top, or Davis was coming up top. Here's Camara. How about this catch? Great coverage out there by Trey Brown, and a terrific catch.
Another freshman making a big play for the Irish. Bad snap. Clausen's on it, and he goes down with it. And that should just about do it for the Irish here in the first half. But they got to be feeling good about being in this ball game, trailing by just 3 points.
And UCLA has to feel the exact opposite. Feel like, hey, we had our chances, we turned the ball over, our quarterback got hurt, we're keeping them in the game.
And welcome back to Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines. Dan Fouts and Tim Brand up in the booth. Todd Harris down on the sidelines. A 6-3 game. Notre Dame looking to get their first win of the season. And in that first half, Tim, the sack by Zbikowski on Olsen really changed the complexion of this game.
Yeah, everything was a nightmare for the Bruins. They had 6 penalties. They got sacked a couple of times, and they had this play right here where you got Zbikowski coming on the outside, Trevor Law on the inside. And if you watch his leg, he gets caught up under him. Ben Olsen's hurt. He should have just given himself up when they saw the sack and he had nowhere to go. Just go down to the ground. But he's injured. He's out of the game. Now they're playing with a walk-on.
Well, and UCLA's defense rose up on the first down from the 1-yard line, sacked Clausen for a big loss. They had to settle for a field goal. You got to push it in from 1 yard out.
Well, I don't know. You know, they weren't having a lot of success. You got to say, all right, let's get some points when we can. This is a team that hadn't scored many points all year.
Well, let's take a look at the pass chart for Jimmy Clausen. Very conservative game for Clausen, only 59 yards passing.
Well, he's 11 for 20, and if you look to the left, you look to the right short, there's his dink and dunk stuff. He's doing the quick slants, he's doing the little screens and the waggles, nothing up the middle. And deep, absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, he's thrown 3 passes that probably should have been picked off. Keys had 2 right in his hands and dropped them.
But because Notre Dame has rushed for only 3 yards in the first half, Jimmy Clausen and the passing game for Notre Dame is going to have to win this game.
Yeah, but Notre Dame is a team that's given up 31 points in 7 straight games. UCLA has only 6 in this half. So the Irish have to feel pretty good about themselves.
Well, they'll be on defense to start the second half as Nate Whitaker will kick off for the Irish. Matthew Slater with a good return across the 30-yard line out to the 35-yard line for the son of the great offensive tackle from the LA Rams, Jackie Slater. Todd, you had a chance to talk with both coaches. What do they have to say?
Yeah, Dan, I talked with Coach Charlie Weiss from Notre Dame as he was coming off the field. Now, you know he normally does not heap a lot of praise on any of his players, especially during the game, but he said, I've got to give a lot of credit to our defense. They are keeping us in this game, and they are stopping UCLA. He says, we've got to get our offense to give them some breaks. Talking with Coach Carl Durrell, I asked him how the mood in the locker room was. He said, there's not panic. He says, just disappointment. We've left too many points out there on the field, and he did confirm that Ben Olsen, done for the night. He is scheduled to have an MRI.
Well, here's Khalil Bell on first down. Thank you, Todd, out to the 39-yard line.
Yeah,
horrible news for UCLA fans.
It is horrible news, and I agree with Charlie Weiss when he says his defense is keeping him in the game. But in the same light, UCLA is allowing the defense to do that. UCLA has been sloppy offensively. They haven't gotten things going. Ben Olsen gets hurt. They've given up 2 sacks. They've had those penalties, and those are the things that have really stopped the Bruins.
McLeod Bethel Thompson 5 of 8 in that first half for just 34 yards. Will pass on second down from the shotgun and throws incomplete.
Pass interference.
Torian Smith, number 49, hit the receiver before the ball got there.
Yeah, Smith knew it. He came over the shoulder. He's been
pass interference on the defense. Number 49. The ball will be placed at the spot of the infraction. Automatic. First down.
Yeah, Smith is the unsung hero in this defense, but he knows he got there too early. Just being aggressive. Look at him right there. He's hanging on the back with the right arm and goes to the left to knock it away. Definitely had him wrapped early.
And Khalil Bell agrees with the call, obviously. That'll bring up a first down for the Bruins.
Remember now, the Irish played well in the second half last week, Dan, against Purdue. They want to keep that momentum.
And they only trail here by 3 points. Here's the reverse to Brazil. 40-yard line down the sidelines, midfield, knocked out of bounds. Terrell Lambert got him there, but it's a big gain on first down for the Bruins.
Jay Norvell and Carl Durrell have to think of ways to get the ball to Brazil. He really does take this offense to another level. And so here on the reverse, they give it to him, and he gets outside, and it's a great block on the corner. He just turns it up, and he moves the chains. They've got to get him the ball every conceivable way. You see the reverse there. Now they've got to throw it. They've got to do some screens. They got to get him the ball.
It was a quick screen last week that ignited this Bruin offense. He went 69 yards on a slip screen for a touchdown against the Beavers of Oregon State. He got 18 yards on that reverse. Here's Bell, right side. Ambrose Wooden knocks him first, and then he gets help from Trevor Laws one more time.
That's a situation where he wasn't patient enough. He outran his offensive line.
Good to see Maurice Crum back in the game, too. Remember, he left the field to go into the locker room in that first half for treatment.
UCLA told us this week they wanted to get that running game going from the get-go. Notre Dame giving up 210 yards rushing a game, but they really haven't had that much success.
Pickup of 2 that time for Bell. Bethel Thompson will throw high, incomplete to Joe Cowan.
Take a look at the Pacific Life game summary, first half statistics, and it was fairly even. Notre Dame, because UCLA gave them so many opportunities. You look at this and you look at the passing yards, not much difference. Rushing yards, Notre Dame has 3. That's unbelievable. But total yards for UCLA, just 148. And of course, the story of the game right there. Penalties.
Third down for the Bruins. 39-yard line. 3 wide receivers for Bethel Thompson. He's going to run. And he's going to get knocked short of the first down and really drilled by Zibikowski.
You know, here's the situation. Bethel Thompson's a walk-on. He comes into the game. They've run out of quarterbacks. Ben Olsen's hurt. Pat Cowan's hurt. He cannot take licks like this. He's got to come over. Jay Norvell's got to tell him he's got to get down. All right, here comes the defender. Get down right now. He cannot take those licks because they're out of quarterbacks.
Give Kyle McCarthy credit as well on that hit. So Carl Durrell's going to roll the dice here and go for it on 4th and 1.
And now he wants a timeout.
Too long
timeout
to make that
UCLA.
decision. And UCLA in a 3-point game will use their first timeout here in the second half.
And Notre Dame's lucky because they only had 10 guys on the field.
You're watching ESPN College Football on ABC. That's the Bruin locker room here at the Rose Bowl. 2 identical locker rooms were built this year. 40,000 square feet and an office for the head coach. And the head coach has gathered his troops on the sidelines for this 4th down. Shane Moline is the tailback. Cowan in motion. Bethel Thompson rolling right. Crum's got him and down he goes. Notre Dame comes up with a huge play and will take over with great field position.
I don't understand the play call. They needed 2 yards. They sent out 1 receiver, and it was pretty much an empty backfield.
Yeah, it was pretty clear where Moline was lined up that he was not going to be a ball carrier.
Exactly right. And they tried to flood the flat on the right, and Notre Dame wasn't fooled.
So Notre Dame will take over at the 40-yard line to start their first series of the second half. 3 wide receivers and James Aldridge for Jimmy Clausen. Aldridge right side. Good gain on first down out to the 49-yard line. Trey Brown jumps on his back there.
This offensive line is starting to play better and better. It's a line that averages over 300 pounds for Notre Dame. Young, Turkovic, Sullivan, Herafelt, Duncan. All big guys.
9 yards on the gain for Aldridge. Quick pass out here to Kamara. Kamara with a stiff arm will pick up the first down for the Irish.
Rodney Van with a good open field tackle. It was 1-on-1. Look at this. This is why they're throwing the football, because they are having such a hard time running the football. They had 3 yards in the first half. You look, they ranked dead last in the NCAA in Division 1A. Bowl subdivision.
First down for Notre Dame. They rank last in all of those divisions, my friend. Here's Aldridge, left side. He spins down to the 45-yard line. Rodney Van with the stop there, along with Kevin Brown.
Look at Charlie Weiss in his 3rd season at Notre Dame. He's gone 9-3, 10-3, and 0-5, looking for that first win here today. And he's playing with a lot of his recruits now. The Ty Willingham guys are almost gone.
DJ Horde is the receiver at the top of the screen. Robbie Paris in the slot. Kamara, bottom of the screen. Clausen to throw. 3-step drop, tight end. Carlson's got it. And he'll be just about a yard or two shy of the first down, but good quick decision by Clausen.
Clausen likes those short passes, but I'll tell you what, he's getting into a little bit of a rhythm. This is what I was just talking about. You see the guys that were recruited by Weiss and Willingham, and again, he went 9-3 and 10-3, and then the 2007 starters, well, the Willingham guys are almost gone, and Charlie Weiss is getting his guys in there. But Tyrone Willingham went 10-3 his first season with Bob Davies recruits, and Charlie Weiss went 9-3 with Willingham's recruits.
Here's Aldridge. Again, spinning off a tackler, but Kevin Brown twists him down before he can pick up the first down.
Yeah, he's going to be about a yard short, maybe even less.
Notre Dame hurrying up, going right to the line of scrimmage on this fourth down.
See if Clausen goes with a quarterback sneak.
And he does, and he's got the first down. Great surge by that offensive line. Turkovich and John Sullivan, Paul Duncan as well in there.
And it was great the way they hurried up and didn't let UCLA get set. Guys for UCLA weren't even ready yet. And he already had the first down.
Look at the block by Sullivan on the middle linebacker, Christian Taylor. Low man always wins.
Well, and Sullivan's 303 pounds. Taylor's 220. And that's when he's soaking wet.
Yeah, the big guy always wins too. First and 10 for the Irish. That's Robbie Paris in motion. Quick pass outside to Horde. Horde will get a couple. Trey Van with a solid tackle with help from Bruce Davis. Well, it's Tuesday's newest comedy hit about four guys who like to drive in the diamond lane. And they like to share a ride with all of you on Carpoolers. Tuesday, 8:30, 7:30 Central on ABC. Check it out. Start here.
Man up. It's that time to go. Second and long.
Gain of 2 that time for Aldridge. He remains the tailback. Carlson moves. Clausen, 3-step drop to Paris. And Paris will get a yard. Alteron Werner. Very solid tackling by this secondary of UCLA.
That's a good point, Dan, because while Clausen's dinking and dunking them with these short passes, they're trying to get guys in space to make one-on-one moves. These guys are coming up in a hurry, breaking down, and really making nice plays. Werner there. We saw Van earlier. We saw Brown do it twice in the open field. Those are pretty good numbers for Jimmy Clausen.
Except when you see it's only for 73 yards. This is a crucial 3rd and 7 because they're not in field goal range yet. Armando Allen up the middle. Allen's got a first down for Notre Dame. He bounced off a tackler. Chris Horton was the guy he bounced off to pick up that first down.
Watch, Horton gets in the hole here. Boom. He gets a pretty good lick. But Horton also took a pretty good lick and let him lunge forward for the first.
And if you're thinking the Irish are in field goal range, think again. They've had all kinds of problems kicking field goals this season. So they're going to come with 3 tight ends on this first down and 10 from the 25. Aldridge right side. He tries to bounce away from Reggie Carter.
I think this is Notre Dame's best drive of the year. They're being physical. They're being effective. They're being efficient. Clausen's managing the game extremely well. Kicker's ready, but Clausen's hoping they don't have to use him. He wants a touchdown.
Duval Kamara, top of the screen. 3 tight ends. That's Carlson moving, and another tight end move. That looked like it was Will Yateman moving, so this will back up the Irish. Todd Harris.
Dan and Tim, you guys were talking about the kicking problems at Notre Dame. Well, earlier this week, this competition came in the kicking game. Coach Watt a game-type simulation between his 2 kickers, Brandon Walker and Nate Whitaker. Brandon Walker, the freshman from Findlay, got the nod. But this is certainly not set in stone.
Bottom line, he had a kickoff in practice, and he hit 3 or 4, so he's the man.
The 2nd and 7 turns into a very difficult 2nd and 12 for Charlie Weiss.
Timeout.
And he's going to talk it over with his young quarterback, Jimmy Clausen.
It'll be a 30-second charge timeout.
Yeah, you talked about Clausen being a 20-year-old. He looks a lot more mature than your normal freshman. And when you think about that rule change a number of years ago where they allowed freshmen to play, I can't imagine being a freshman, Tim, and playing, starting for like Notre Dame at the Rose Bowl against UCLA when you've lost 5 straight games.
I agree with you 100%. Now, I know that freshman ball that you and I played when we were in college was just phenomenal. You take a look at Jimmy Clausen's career timeline presented by Sports Authority. He was born September 21st, 1987. Everybody knows his lineage. Both brothers, Casey and Rick, quarterbacks at Tennessee. Jimmy went 42-0 as a starter at Oaks Christian High School, as Fauci told you earlier. But he told the world April 22nd, 2006, he was heading to Notre Dame, and when he arrived in the spring, he arrived in a limousine.
Just as long as he doesn't leave in a hearse. 2nd and 12. Aldridge in the backfield blocking. Now he's the receiver. And UCLA closes quickly and holds him to about a yard gain, and a flag down.
This might be a late hit.
Dead ball, personal foul on the offense. Number 55, 15-yard penalty from the end of the play, 3rd down.
Wow. How about that? You saw the look on Carl Jarrell's face. He wanted to hear which way that flag was going to go.
Well, it didn't look like it was against UCLA. It's Eric Olson, a backup offensive lineman, coming in trying to protect his running back. Takes a shot right there at Christian Taylor.
Yeah, that's a cheap shot. I mean, Eric Olson, he had Taylor in his eyesight and just went after him well after the play and away from the play.
Boy, that would have brought up a 3rd down and 9. So let's back it up 15. 3rd and 24 now. And again, out of field goal range for Notre Dame.
Bottom move screen, number 44. Keep an eye on him. That's Bruce Davis.
UCLA will rush 3, drop 8. Clausen throws short over the middle to Paris. Whittington with the tackle. Rodney Van could not wrap him up, but that's way short of the 1st down for Notre Dame.
So how many times in this ball game, Dan, have we seen penalties take teams out of great opportunities? Both teams have hurt themselves. Here, this inability to throw long is starting to get Notre Dame too. I mean, these little dink and dunks had a pretty good drive going, but there where you've got to pick up a first and get back in reasonable, manageable field goal range, got to go a little bit deeper.
And this is the freshman, Brandon Walker. 48-yarder, his longest this year, half of that, 24 yards. Price puts it down. Hooking, long enough. Hit the post, good! Brandon Walker hit the crossbar, and it bounced through. The luck of the Irish ties the game. First it hooked, and then it got lucky. Tie ball game.
IBM presents the 25 greatest players ever. Number 20, Charlie Trippi. In a college career that straddled service in World War II, Trippi was the MVP of the 1943 Rose Bowl, won the Maxwell Award, and led Georgia to a perfect season in 1946. IBM, getting it done.
That 1943 Rose Bowl was a 9-0 victory over these UCLA Bruins. Trippi, playing for Georgia, rushed for 113 yards in that ball game, and he's our number 20 greatest player in college football history. What a list. Can't wait to see who the top 19 are.
So 9 points in that ball game, 12 in this one. Not much of a difference after all those years.
But in that game, there were no field goals, though. There was a safety on a blocked Bob Waterfield punt and a touchdown for Georgia. This is the other kicker we were talking about, Nate Whitaker. He's going to handle the kickoff here in this tie ball game. This is Matthew Slater at the 10-yard line. Slater gets spun down. David Bruton, the safety, just an outstanding evening on special teams for the Irish. UCLA and Notre Dame made last year in a game that went down to the wire like this one might. Brady Quinn and Jeff Samardzija for this 2-yard touchdown pass gave Notre Dame a 7-0 lead. Then this 36-yard TD reception by William Snead, his first catch ever. And then who will ever forget the Quinn to Samardzija connection? Notre Dame won the game 20-17, and to a man, all those Bruins we talked to yesterday said it was one of the most bitter defeats they've ever experienced. Khalil Bell on first down for about 3.
They say they have the football. The tackle. Officials say he was down. But Crum came up with the football, and all the white jerseys started hopping around.
Momentum is certainly wearing a white jersey right now.
Take another look at it. Here comes Bell. Bell's got the ball tucked away. Goes into the line of scrimmage. See if the ball's ripped out.
Well, Bell did fumble twice last week against Oregon State.
They're going to look at it.
The previous play is being challenged by Notre Dame for a fumble.
I thought it was out.
This is a coach's challenge by Charlie Weiss. Gerard McGinn, the Big East referee for tonight's game, will go over and talk to Pac-10 official Bill Richardson, our replay official, and check this out.
See if Crum doesn't rip the ball out. All right, still in there. Now it's loose. Ball's out. That ball's out. That's a fumble.
That's Notre Dame football.
Absolutely. Crum ripped it out. The ball was out before Bell ever touched the ground. That's Notre Dame football. Here's another look. Ball's tucked away. Here comes Crum. They meet in a hole. Now just watch Bell. Watch the football. And football's out right there.
And watch the knees. Absolutely, Tim. All over it.
Even a better angle as Bell turns toward us. There's 40. Crum rips it. Ball's out right there. And Bell's still up.
Smart challenge by Charlie Weiss, but it always puzzles me if every play in college football is reviewed. Why do we need a coach to challenge? Well, when we come back, we'll find out if the challenge is successful for Charlie Weiss and the Irish. Back at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, we're in the midst of a coach's challenge. Was Khalil Bell down before the ball was ripped loose by Maurice Crum? Gerard McGinn talking upstairs again to Bill Richardson of the Pac-10. Taking their good sweet time. We're told that the whistle was well after.
Yeah, this ball is out, Dan. As he will turn to us here, you watch Crum, 40, will rip this ball out. All right, now the ball is out right there. And Bell is still up, and Crum has the football. Now, this is a situation where Charlie Weiss listened to his players, because Bell came over to the sideline, and Weiss says, hey, was it out?
After review, there was a reversal on the field. There was a fumble. Notre Dame recovered the ball. The ball will be placed at the 31-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock operator, please put 6:13 on the clock. Thank you.
Absolutely, the ball was out. Charlie Weiss listened to his players, asked Crum if in fact it was out. He said it was. He believed him. He challenged and he won.
Now we're on the verge of a huge upset here in the Rose Bowl. Just down the road at the Coliseum, Stanford trails USC by 1, 24-23, with 48 seconds to go in the ball game.
Oh, Jim Harbaugh, all that talk, all those words. If he walks away with a win, my.
Well, Stanford was the last team to beat USC at the Coliseum back in 2001. They have a 35-game home win streak that could go by the boards.
Meanwhile, here comes the Irish.
31-yard line, 1st and 10 for Notre Dame. Schmidt in motion. Clausen will get dragged down by Bruce Davis. Ball comes loose, but it's covered by Sam Young. Stanford on top, 24-23 at the Coliseum. 3rd sack of the night by Bruce Davis.
And Bruce Davis on top of Clausen. Never gave up. Came all the way from the backside, chased him all the way across the field. Davis small for a defensive end, 6'3", 234, but he can run, flat out run like a running back.
Loss of 7 on the sack. Draw play to Aldridge. Aldridge hitting the backfield. Barely can get back to the line of scrimmage. Jess Ward, the sophomore from Running Springs, California, with a stop.
Carl Durrell can feel the momentum that's changed, urging his guys on. This would be a major upset.
And again, it's a first down sack by Bruce Davis that has been the difference so far. Armando Allen is now the tailback for Clausen. That's Carlson in motion. 3rd and 16. Screen pass. Incomplete. Allen couldn't make the grab. That's where the young quarterback will learn to take a little bit off that ball, make it more catchable for his running back.
And this is out of the range of Walker. Here again, they're all over Davis. Boy, it looked like Sam Young was holding him, but look at the pursuit.
I think Bruce Davis got a hand on that ball.
Bruce Davis did get a hand.
Yeah.
He was being held, too, by Sam Young.
Jeff Price to punt. Terrence Austin staying at his 10-yard line, making sure there are just 10 other Bruins on the field.
Price has had 4 inside the 20. He just needs to pooch this one.
It's an end-over-ender that will bounce and be downed at the 2-yard line. Jeff Price with an outstanding punt. Great coverage by the Irish. So now the walk-on quarterback, McLeod Bethel Thompson.
They just made the announcement, I think, about USC. They put it on the board. It's a final 24-23 Stanford. USC falls. How about that?
And how about LSU losing to Florida right now, 17-7 in the 3rd quarter. Is this a wacky year in college football or what?
Couple more top 10 teams fall today. USC. Man.
And California, who's sitting at home watching all this action, is going to move up to number 1 maybe. Bethel Thompson with a quarterback sneak. Time now to check in with Matt Weiner. Matt? All right, Matt, thank you. 2nd down and 8. Irish blitz. Khalil Bell is going to get another yard. You know, Tim, you go back to that Stanford win. They were a 40-point underdog with a first-time quarterback, Tavita Pritchard, because of TC Ostrander's problems with a seizure earlier in the week.
And a coach at Stanford that came in shooting from the hip, taking shots at schools.
Shooting from the lip.
Got after Pete Carroll, said Pete wouldn't even be there after a year.
Old Jim Harbaugh worked his magic at the University of San Diego, but he's never had a win as a player or as a coach, I think, as big as this one.
Yeah, that's a program maker for them.
3rd and 7 for the Bruins, still backed up. Bethel Thompson from his end zone. Intercepted at the 20. It's Bruton to the 10. Bruton down to the 6-yard line. Flag is down at the 20-yard line. But that may be after the pick.
Yeah, that Bethel Thompson threw a bad ball. I mean, there was nobody open. He tried to force it over the top where the safety was there and the nickelback was there. He had nobody open. That's inexperience right there. You're backed up like that. You cannot afford a turnover. You want to give your punter room to get it out and get your defense back on the field. That one is on that kid right there, McLeod Bethel Thompson, a guy who really has very little experience.
Bruton with his 2nd interception of the year. Will check out the flag to see if this interception will stand.
During the return, face mask on UCLA, number 86. The penalty will be enforced from the end of the run, half the distance to the goal,
There it is.
First down.
Right there, Logan Paulson, number 86, had the hand as he flew by. You can tell how much Bethel Thompson has not played. That mark on his forehead, folks, that's what you normally get in summer ball. And it eventually toughens up and goes away.
First and goal for the Irish. Thomas, left side, down to the 1-yard line. Aaron Whittington made the tackle there. You notice the play selection this time, Tim, when they're down on the 2-yard line as opposed to when they got the turnover in the first quarter on the 1-yard line. Weiss says we're going to run this one in. Not allow UCLA to sack our quarterback.
See if they go between the tackles here. And keep an eye on the middle linebacker.
Travis Thomas in the I formation. That's Ragone in motion. Thomas right up the middle. And he didn't get in. Got down to about the half-yard line. That middle linebacker, Christian Taylor, with the stop.
And let's watch him again, too, because they're going to try to go between the tackles again. Here comes Christian Taylor. Penetrates. Makes the tackle along with 2 other blue jerseys. Now that defensive line has to cut into the gaps and try to create a new line of scrimmage a yard deep in Notre Dame's backfield and let the linebackers fill.
Quarterback sneak. Clausen's in. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Big push by the big white jerseys on that offensive line. They won the battle.
$20,000 Irish fans going crazy in both end zones right now as Clausen behind that offensive line. John Sullivan, Mike Turkovich got in easily on the quarterback sneak.
Coaches on the UCLA sideline working psychologically with their quarterback, trying to keep him up and trying to get him back, get some confidence back in him.
This is Brandon Walker. And Walker's true.
Wake up the echoes.
David Bruton picks off McLeod Bethel Thompson. And Jimmy Clausen with his first touchdown ever as a member of the Fighting Irish. Welcome back to Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines. Notre Dame enjoying just their second lead of the season. And that's going to be interesting, Tim, I think, to see what defensive coordinator Corwin Brown is going to dial up for the Irish defense to try to confuse Bethel Thompson even more.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's going to be just as interesting to see how Bethel Thompson comes back after throwing that interception and giving up that touchdown.
Nate Whitaker will kick it. And he'll kick it to the far side of the field. Chad Moline across the 30-yard line. So the freshman from San Francisco's Balboa High School try to bounce back after that very costly interception last time out.
And you know, this is, they still have a minute 47 to go in the third. They've got the entire fourth, and this place is quiet. The Rose Bowl is quiet, and you've got all the former players here. It's alumni night. All the great players have come back. There are recruits here, but this place is quiet. I think there's panic in the Rose Bowl.
Brandon Brazil is a receiver at the bottom of the screen for Bethel Thompson. Khalil Bell is the tailback. Looking for Brazil, and he's got it. Turns up the field, first down. Oh, is he quick?
And that'll help Bethel Thompson to have that completion. And if Brazil is his normal self, he'll come back and ask for it again. There's Olsen now out of uniform, in crutches, on crutches. Injured his knee in the first half when he went down awkwardly with Trevor Laws.
Brazil got the first down out to the 43-yard line. Brazil again at the bottom of the screen. And a Bell again the tailback. Three-step drop thrown to the other side, almost intercepted. Tipped again at the line of scrimmage. Pat Kuntz got his hand on another one.
And you know what? If that ball's not tipped, I think it's picked and it's taken to the house.
Well, of UCLA's 3 second-half possessions, they were turned over on downs. Bell fumbled, and then the interception.
There's the tip.
Terry Neal, the freshman from Bunn, North Carolina.
And now from the secondary. Look at Wooden. Wooden saying, oh my, don't tip that thing.
Bethel Thompson's going to go down. Fumble picked up. Notre Dame's got it. Crum at the 10. Crum at the 5. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. Caused the fumble, and Crum picked it up and stumbled and bumbled his way into the end zone. Crum with the first hit. There's Ryan. Second fumble recovery of the evening for Maurice Crum Jr. And it appears we're going to get a review on this play.
Bethel Thompson never looks off the receiver. He looks that way. He looks that way. He's still looking that way. He's wasting too much time, feels the pressure, tries to pull it out, and that ball is way out. I don't know what they're looking at. That's a fumble.
This is an official review to see if, in fact, Bethel Thompson's knee was down before the ball came out.
Or if the ball's going forward. You know, it may have been going forward. From that angle, you look at his arm. Here it is. Incompleted pass.
I don't know. That may go down as one of those Tom Brady tuck rules against the Raiders in the playoffs. He was obviously pulling the ball down, but the officials called it an incomplete pass.
Well, look at the arms going forward when the ball comes out. It's out as soon as he starts bringing the arm forward.
Well, I don't know. It looked like he was trying to tuck it in and hold it to his chest.
Yeah.
This one could go either way.
I know it. He never looked off the receivers. He waited.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It was a fumble. Touchdown for Notre Dame.
There you have it. So he threw the interception, and then he threw the fumble, or he gave up the fumble, and 2 quick Notre Dame scores.
So 4 possessions for UCLA here in the second half. Turned it over on downs, a fumble, the interception, now a fumble for a touchdown. And it just couldn't get any uglier for the UCLA Bruins.
Now you have to wonder, do they take the red shirt off Chris Forcier?
Here's Brandon Walker to add the 20th point for the Fighting Irish. And he does with ease. You're watching Saturday Night College Football on ABC. From our crew tonight, producer Chris Pfeiffer, director Brad Sheldon. We got the blimp. We've got a potential upset by the Irish. How about the turnover story?
Amazing. Penalties and turnovers. You see the points off those turnovers. And the last 2 possessions for Bethel Thompson, the walk-on quarterback who came in when Ben Olsen got hurt, has given up the interception that led to a touchdown and the fumble that was returned for a score.
Mike Norris with the return out to about the 35-yard line. Kyle McCarthy with that stop. Time now for tonight's Aflac trivia question. Who was the first player in Pac-10 history to be named first team all-conference in 4 consecutive seasons? What an accomplishment that was.
So McLeod Bethel Thompson is back on, and again we tell you Ben Olsen went out with a knee injury. Pat Cowan is already out with a knee injury, and now they're playing a walk-on McLeod Bethel Thompson because they don't want to take the red shirt off the other quarterback, Forcier.
Here's Bethel Thompson, and he's going to throw long, trying to get it to Dominique Johnson. Oh, about 2 yards too far. First time that we've seen any UCLA quarterback throw the ball deep today.
Johnson had him beaten. Just needed another step. Number 8, there's Chris Forcier. They're trying to keep a red shirt on him. They don't want to bring him out. He's the quarterback in waiting.
Well, UCLA has a bye next week, and then the Cal Bears, who might be the #1 team in the nation after tonight, will come here to the Rose Bowl. This is Joe Cowan, and Cowan fights across the 45-yard line. First down for the Bruins.
There's got to be a sense of urgency now with the Bruins. You've got the entire fourth quarter, but you're 2 scores down. Now let's hustle up. Let's try to get as much positive yardage as we can, especially after 2 passes like we just saw from Bethel Thompson.
Really tough duty for Bethel Thompson to run any type of hurry-up offense. He can barely run the normal offense with the lack of playing time and practice time that he's had.
Doesn't really have to be hurry-up as much as crisp. Just get the guys in and out of there, up to the line of scrimmage.
He'll throw on first down. Searching. Good time to throw. Now he fires along the sidelines. Caught by Cowens, but out of bounds. Heck of an effort by both the quarterback and the receiver.
Everybody holds their breath, though, when Bethel Thompson starts to scramble. Here's Cowan coming back for the ball. Boy, I tell you, I'd look at that one if I was Carl Jarrell. Here, take another look at this replay. See when he catches it, see if he's got his 1 foot in. He's dragging his foot.
And he's dragging a lot of white paint with it, too.
Well, there's no challenge, and as you know, every play is reviewed. So they've already looked at it up here.
Shane Moline is the tailback behind Bethel Thompson. Brazil, the wide receiver, at the bottom of the screen. 2 tight ends. Moline is hitting the backfield. Torian Smith, number 49, on the run blitz. Got him there.
Bethel Thompson doing everything he can with the limited reps that he's had. But it seems like he telegraphs everything, even the runs. You know exactly where it's going. And they aren't hesitating getting there either.
Irish are smelling an upset. They're smelling their first victory in a long, long time. 17 third-quarter points, their most productive quarter of the season. Clausen with the sneak. And then the fumble recovery by Maurice Crum have put Notre Dame up on top by 14. This is a presentation of Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines. We'll continue after this message. Aerial coverage provided to you by Goodyear. Football's a rough game. We can see that tonight. Your commute shouldn't be. So get there on Goodyear's silent armor technology. And Tim, the scenario for an upset couldn't be more perfect for the Irish tonight.
I agree with you. UCLA, 7 penalties. Ben Olsen, the quarterback, gets hurt. He has to leave the game. All the turnovers. 17 points now in the third by Notre Dame. One was by an interception, set it up, and then the fumble return for a touchdown. And here we go again.
And Bethel Thompson pitches the ball forward. This might be an incomplete pass, and a real heads-up play by the young quarterback to avoid the sack and throw an incomplete pass.
But the problem besides that is the fact that this offense right now doesn't have any confidence in Bethel Thompson. You can just see it in their body language.
I'm not sure if Bethel Thompson has confidence in himself right now, to be honest with you. This is Perez to punt it away, almost blocked. Zibikowski, he makes the catch, and he's tackled immediately. Matthew Slater first under that kick.
This is big for Notre Dame. This is so big to get a lot of these young guys over the hump, get them to learn how to win. But for UCLA, now the defense has to come together and say, we've got to win this football game. We've got to come up with some big plays and force some turnovers.
There's no question about that. They'll be looking to strip the ball from the running backs and looking to pick the ball off from the young quarterback, Jimmy Clausen. Just shy of the 14-yard line. Here's Aldridge. He's hitting the backfield.
You know, there's 2 guys I could just sit and watch play all night. Christian Taylor, the middle linebacker, and Bruce Davis, the defensive end. They are just so active, and they are so quick. Once they make their decision, that ball is snapped, bam, right now they're going after it.
Tom Blake, a reserve defensive end, number 56, got great penetration that time. Dropped Aldridge for a 4-yard loss. Here's Aldridge, left side. And he's going to get a couple, but Christian Taylor there for the tackle.
Yeah, Christian Taylor now has made 2 spectacular plays. And he's the leader of this defense. You know, he's undersized, but he's the signal caller. He's the coach on the field. He's not big. We told you that before. But, I mean, he said that Notre Dame game, that last play, he was in coverage. It was the worst feeling he's ever had in his athletic career. And he wanted to come back tonight and have a big game. Well, he finds himself down 2 touchdowns, but those were 2 quality plays by the linebacker right there.
Jerzy Sawerski is a defensive tackle replacing Jess Ward for the Bruins on 3rd and 11 for Clausen. They're going to run the ball left side. Aldridge short of the first down, flag down, and I almost guarantee you that's holding on a wide receiver. He got that corner, Tim, because of the penalty, I believe.
James Aldridge coming back smiling, I know that. And it was a sarcastic smile. So he knows something's not right. So they're going to take his big gain away.
There were multiple fouls on the play. Holding on Notre Dame, number 1. Penalties decline. Also, holding Notre Dame, number 77. That penalty will be accepted from the line of scrimmage, half the distance to the goal. Replay 3rd down.
So Tim, Mike Turkovich is saying, hey, why me? DJ Horde was holding too. Why did they decline that one?
I know this one they take back, and it's from the line of scrimmage, so they'll back him inside the 5, almost back to the goal line. That's the reason they took that one. Here's the next one. See where he is? He's at the 10-yard line.
Well, Turkovich with a takedown on Jerzy Sawerski. And that will push the ball back to the 6. Just outside the 6-yard line. 3rd and 17. Paris in motion. Aldridge right side this time. As Weiss goes conservative, and Aldridge stays in bounds, but well short of the first down.
So they're going to have to punt, and the deal is that UCLA is going to get excellent field position. But again, the way the offense is going, you've got to think we need a big return here. UCLA has got to get a wall going.
Come on, Matthew!
Jeff Price standing at his 1-yard line. Will punt it away to Terrence Austin. UCLA should get great field position. Would you go after a block here, Tim?
4 don'ts of the kicking game. I know that. Don't be off sides. Don't rough the kicker. Don't let the ball hit the ground, and don't clip.
The Bruins set up for a return. Austin at the 42. Makes 1 miss and gets tackled and a flag down.
That'll be a block in the back. So 2 bad things on that play by UCLA. They had the block in the back, and they had a missed block.
That's the clip you were talking about. Number 4 on your list of 4 don'ts.
Right.
Christian Ramirez will get called for the illegal block. I'm surprised they didn't really put pressure on Perez and try to block one. He's had 2 blocked in his.
During the return, legal block in the back against the return team. Number 24, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the infraction. First down, UCLA.
Christian Ramirez, number 24. Watch the left side of your
TV
screen.
timeout.
See 24. Here's the block in the back, and on the other side was the missed block by Michael Norris.
12:21 to go in the ball game. Notre Dame 20, UCLA 6. The Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. Notre Dame leading by 14. A lot of time left in this one. 1st and 10 for the Bruins.
People getting seasick, jumping on and off the bandwagon, and they were jumping off when they were 0-5.
4-man rush for Notre Dame. Here's the pass down to Dominique Johnson. He can't come up with it. Real tight coverage there by Terrell Lambert.
Here it is again, and you're thinking, okay, my guy's got the size. Johnson is much bigger at 6'3" with a big arm span. But Lambert just got the leverage, got inside of him, and no chance for Johnson.
Bethel Thompson now 7 of 17 for 59 yards, 1 interception, and of course that costly fumble. Khalil Bell is the tailback. Blitz. This is Joe Cowan with a big gain. 50. Cowan at the 40. Cowan is going to score. We got a flag down, but Cowan is in the end zone for UCLA. Broke the tackle of Darren Walls, but we got to check out this flag at the 41-yard line of the Irish.
And UCLA is coming back. Look at those faces. They finally get the big play they're looking for, and it comes back with another penalty.
Holding on the offense. Number 86. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the infraction. It was still will result in a first down for UCLA.
That's your tight end, Paulson.
And Paulson negates a 68-yard touchdown reception that would have cut the lead in half.
He's asking, what did he do? Look at the top of the screen right there is your tight end. He's got his jersey. He's grabbing cloth.
And you know,
Wooden is yelling that he's holding. Well, he's trying to draw attention. He's raising his arms to the official that he was being held.
And Wooden would never have even caught Cowan. That's the thing, because Cowan was even with Paulson and Wooden and on his way to a touchdown. They'll move it back. Bethel Thompson searching over the middle. He's got it intercepted. Maurice Crum. What a night Maurice Crum is having as he goes down at the 48-yard line.
That ball had to be tipped. Or it slipped out of his hand, one or the other. This is unbelievable.
First interception of the year for Maurice Crum. Third takeaway for number 40 tonight.
That ball was hit, or his arm was hit. Watch right here.
Trevor Laws. Unstoppable.
Trevor Laws just clawing and scratching his way, fighting his man, and getting a hand on the arm of the quarterback.
That's Aldridge out to the 50-yard line.
What a turn of events. The touchdown by Cowan is called back on the holding penalty, then the interception.
How about the night for number 40? 7 tackles, 1 sack, 2 passes knocked down, intercepted a pass, recovered 2 fumbles, one of which he returned for a touchdown. And of course, he forced the fumble that he returned for a touchdown.
And he was Notre Dame's leading tackler last year with 100 tackles and 4 sacks. He's a player.
He's a leader by example. 2nd and 8 for the Irish. Aldridge. He gets hit in the backfield by Dennis Keys. Fine tackle by Keys.
I feel badly for this UCLA defense because the defense has played well all night. The offense is giving the points up.
Now, when you lose your starting quarterback and your backup quarterback's already hurt, you got to rely on a walk-on freshman. Tough evening, tough assignment for McLeod Bethel Thompson.
Which brings up the question, would you have taken the red shirt off Forcier?
That's a question that only Carl Durrell can answer.
I think he's answered it. No, he's not taking that red shirt off. Halfback
There's
pass.
Allen looking to throw. He's got Carlson. And Charlie Weiss celebrating on the sidelines.
I think Charlie Weiss is telling him to get back out there.
And get to the line of scrimmage. It's a 4th down coming up and short. Check out the quarterback sneak again. They were successful doing this in the first half. There it is. But I'm not sure he got it.
What a great play that time by Christian Taylor. Actually cheated to the side to get to the, he knew it was a quarterback sneak, and he didn't want to be head up in front of Sullivan, so he cheated to the side. See 33 comes in from the side and pushes.
Boy, Chris Horton is right there too. Horton at 216. And Clausen does not go far enough, I don't think, to get up that first down.
Oh, he got a great mark, though.
Well, you're right, Tim. They marked the ball very favorably for Notre Dame.
That right there, I think, is enough for the first.
Maybe not.
Nope.
UCLA ball. 2 ticks under 10 minutes to go. Corwin Brown giving Bruce Davis and his defense a high five.
What a great job by the defense of UCLA and Dwayne Walker.
Well, Bethel Thompson's got to be looking for Brandon Brazil. Just 4 catches for 54 yards, but he's been the only bright spot in this Bruin offense this evening. Shane Moline with the carry, right side, first down to the 41-yard line. Shane Moline with his best run of the night. Well, coming up immediately following the game over on ESPN Sports Center, we'll have Saturday's gut checks, top 25 upsets, or is it parity, and some postseason eliminations. Check it out.
Going to get a gut check right here by UCLA. See if they can battle back against this tenacious 0-5 Notre Dame team that came in here as handing it to them.
Moline got 15 on that first down. Bethel Thompson, time to throw over the middle. He's got Brazil inside the 30.
Clock stops. They move the chains.
Brockington and Wooden with the stop there.
Get the play in a hurry. You've got them backing up.
And protect the quarterback as they did that time. There was nobody near Bethel Thompson when he let that one go. Jay Norvell trying to call a play that'll get this team in the end zone quickly.
And Bethel Thompson just studies that arm wrist with the plays on it every time he goes into that huddle.
Dominic Johnson is the receiver to the short side of the field. And that's who gets it at the 20. Dominic Johnson to the 15-yard line.
Stops the clock, just under 9 minutes to play. And all of a sudden there's life again in the Rose Bowl. This is a good play here. He steps in, goes to the underneath receiver, which is a high percentage play to Johnson, and let the big guy try to do some things here yardage wise.
Johnson has a couple of touchdowns on the season. He's a leaper, can really get up in the air. Moline, and Moline gets a yard before Joe Brockington stops him.
Clock is still moving. They've got to get in and out, get this play going. Where's Brazil? That's what they have to do. Look for Brazil.
I always hated when you're on a roll throwing the ball to waste time running the ball. Quarterback's hot. The offensive line's controlling the line of scrimmage. You've got talent in Brazil and Johnson. Let it rip. 2nd and 9.
Ball's on the ground.
He picks it up. And now he'll go down. Trevor Law's second time that Bethel Thompson has had to pick up his own fumble from the center exchange.
But from the end of that first down play to now being 3rd down, they've wasted over a minute. They're taking way too much time. Missed the snap. Stayed composed. Got it. Tried to get some positive yards.
Ball's on the 15-yard line. 3rd and 10. Lil Bell in the backfield with Bethel Thompson. A lot of time to throw. Now he throws it away.
Interference.
Flag down. David Bruton got his feet tangled up with Brandon Brazil. I think they're going to call Bruton for pass interference.
Well, the umpire, though, is now saying hold on. And Charlie Weiss is saying hold on. They're saying that was incidental contact. Pick up the flag.
They may also be saying uncatchable ball. That ball was way off. Nowhere near the intended receiver.
Well, they interfere with his route. That's what they're saying. They're saying coming up right here. He had no chance to get to that ball.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 27. The ball be placed at the spot of the infraction. Automatic. First down.
Because it may have been catchable had he not been held.
No question he held him. Now UCLA will have a first down at the 12-yard line.
More importantly, that stops the clock at 7:26. somehow the Bruins can push this into the end zone, they have plenty of time. Then you don't panic.
Injured Ben Olsen looking on. Injured his knee in the first half and gave the reins to McLeod, Bethel Thompson. Brazil at the bottom of the screen. Here's Moline up the middle, and Brockington's got him. Brockington and John Ryan stop him. That call puzzles me.
Me too, because that clock continues to roll at 7:13, 7:12. You got to get in and out. Let's put that ball in the air.
Now this big offensive line of UCLA is starting to dominate as far as the pass protection is concerned.
And Notre Dame's defense is getting winded. They're all standing there with their hands on their hips.
Shannon Tavaga back in the lineup for UCLA after having a knee injury. Number 71. Here's a quick throw in the fade route to double covered Dominique Johnson. Ball thrown out of the back of the end zone.
See, that's just inexperience. He was going there regardless. He was going with the jump ball. But you talk about throwing into coverage. Johnson couldn't even breathe.
Now, if you're going to force the ball in the end zone, at least give your guy a chance to catch it. Don't throw it out of the back of the end zone. He'll learn. 3rd and 7.
They've got 2 plays now to get down to the 2-yard line.
Yes, they can pick up a first down without scoring. Khalil Bell is in the backfield. 4-man rush. Here's the ball to Bell in the end zone. Incomplete. Off his fingertips.
Another touchdown UCLA's given back.
And a perfect throw that time by that man.
It was almost as if Bell fought it. He puts air under it. He lets Bell run under it. The ball is perfectly thrown. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Accept it.
Got behind Brockington and just let one slip through his fingertips. 4th and 7 from the 9-yard line. 3 wide receivers. And timeout UCLA.
Timeout Notre Dame. That's their 2nd charge. Timeout of the half.
They signaled UCLA called the timeout, but said that Notre Dame did. Well, we'll straighten it out when we come back. One thing we do know, it's 4th and 7.
Media
Notre Dame
timeout.
on top by 14.
Welcome back to the Rose Bowl. Our Southwest Airlines playbook comes in this drive. Bethel Thompson looks, puts some air under it. Wide open is Khalil Bell of UCLA, but he fights it, doesn't bring it in. No touchdown, perfectly thrown pass. Should have been 6. Instead, it's still 20-6, Notre Dame.
So it'll be 4th down and 7 from the 9-yard line for the Bruins. 1 timeout left for Notre Dame, 2 for UCLA. Bethel Thompson is going to go down. He lets it go to the end zone, and it's intercepted in the end zone. Flag down. That's going to be face mask on Dominique Johnson. Terrell Lambert with the pick. And that picture tells you all you need to know.
It's been unbelievable tonight how UCLA has just fallen apart. It's very similar to what happened to them at Utah.
Personal foul. Face mask on UCLA. Number 15. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
That's now 10 penalties against the Bruins and almost 100 yards.
Five second-half turnovers for UCLA. 6 for the game. They trail by 14 with time running out. You're watching Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines. Notre Dame on top, 20-6. They've got the ball at the 16-yard line. That's Yateman in motion. This is Aldridge, left side, trying to get the corner. He's not going to make it as Chris Horton stops him there. Well, you talk about a roller coaster of emotion. How's that sideline, Todd Harris?
I'll tell you what, Dan, don't be surprised if you see a lot of Bruin fans on Monday morning getting therapy. Bruin fans and Notre Dame Irish fans were actually celebrating together when they announced the USC score. Both of them arch rivals of USC, so they were very happy about that. But then when the Bruins got down by 14 points, place went silent. They thought they had a touchdown just a minute ago. Place went up. Back to sideline again.
78,543 riding that roller coaster. 2nd and 6. Aldridge, big hole up the middle. First down, Notre Dame. Across the 25-yard line. Well, earlier we asked you the Aflac trivia question. Who was the first player in Pac-10 history to be named first team all-conference in 4 consecutive seasons?
He's here tonight.
Yeah, he was the honorary captain for the game tonight. Kenny Easley, the great free safety for UCLA, and a guy that picked off more than 1 or 2 of my passes while playing for the Seattle Seahawks. What a player. What range he had.
Great to see so many of the UCLA players back on campus. It's alumni weekend.
Here's Aldridge. And Horton is right there, as is Keys. Now free safety Kenny Easley, as I said, one of the all-time greats here at Westwood. He was a force all over the field, could get to the quarterback and pick off passes playing center field. He left UCLA as the Bruins all-time interception leader. Number 5, Kenny Easley, right there. I didn't throw that one, though.
You know, it's amazing. We're sitting here watching the Irish, 136 total yards for this game, and they lead by 14.
And here's Aldridge with his 3rd consecutive carry across the 30-yard line. Tripped up there again. Chris Horton with the stop.
That'll bring up 3rd down and long, but the clock continues to move. Now it's the clock that UCLA has to be aware of, and it's the clock that Notre Dame has to be aware of and try to melt this thing.
UCLA with 2 timeouts, as indicated by the yellow hash marks under the team name. Third down and 8 for the Irish. 3 tight ends. That's Yateman in motion. This is Aldridge, right side. And he'll cut it back and be tackled by Kyle Bosworth. So UCLA will use their 2nd timeout of the second half.
UCLA, that's their 2nd charge timeout
now,
of half.
Tim, do you go after the punter, Jeff Price, and try to block one?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you do. I think that they've gotten some pressure, but they haven't really had the punt block on, and they haven't had a return yet that's been worth anything.
We'll see what Carl Durrell decides to do. 4:03 to go in the ball game. Notre Dame clinging to a 14-point lead. As Irish fans will tell you, they're on a 7-game losing streak, their longest streak since 1960. Their last win was against Army last season. Darius Walker scores there to give the Irish the lead. Just too much offense for Notre Dame as they won the game 41-9. They went on to lose their last 2 games of the season against USC and in the Sugar Bowl against LSU. But that streak has 4 minutes and 3 seconds of life left before it's snapped. Jeff Price at his 20-yard line. And again, the Bruins set up for a return. Terrence Austin coming left. And gets pushed out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. Time now to check in with Matt Weiner. Matt? I'm sure that Steve Bartman loved hearing that.
Notre Dame graduate.
Here's Bethel Thompson, and he goes down. Tackled by Brian Smith. He'll get credit for the sack, his first of the season.
Clock continues to move under 3:40. No huddle for the Bruins.
Loss of 6 on the play. Brazil at the bottom of the screen. Bethel Thompson to the outside. Sliding catch by Joe Cowan is made for a first down.
That'll stop the clock at 3:19. Bruins run back up to the line of scrimmage. They still are not throwing to Brazil. Cowan really makes a nice catch here, slides underneath of it, cradles it, knowing he had enough for the first.
Brazil now at the top of the screen. Shane Moline in the backfield. To the left side, here's Dominic Johnson, and the ball thrown low. And Johnson may have sprained his ankle, grabbed immediately for his left ankle.
Well, that'll stop the clock.
This may cost UCLA a timeout.
Officials time. Injured player.
So it's an official timeout. Stops the clock at 3:03. Bethel Thomas is getting the guys back up there.
Huge loss, though, for UCLA, because Johnson has the ability to make a big play.
Bethel Thompson now has to step into this thing. He can't wait. He can't afford to take a sack.
Clock starts. 3 minutes to go. Steps up. Ball deflected and incomplete.
He's had balls deflected all night. That time his arm was hit. His arm was hit the play before, or the series before, rather.
Kerry Neal with a hand up that time. But he has a tendency to really stare down that receiver, and that allows the pass rush to see exactly what he's looking at, and they can get their hands up.
Does he ever? But it's inexperience, and the hesitation back there when he's getting hit is inexperience.
Four-man rush for the Irish on 3rd and 1. And he throws high for Brazil, and Maurice Crum has got another one, and he's on his way, and he trips at the 30-yard line.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Not for Maurice Crum, it's not. He's going to party all the way back to South Bend. What a night for the senior from Tampa, Florida.
Sometime when the team is up against it and the brakes are beating, the boys tell them to go in there and just win one for whomever. They got it for themselves. 0-5. They came in here, took advantage of all these opportunities. Give the umpire assist there, because Bethel Thompson waited until Brazil cleared the umpire before he threw it, and that ball was thrown high, released high, and Crum was there with the tip.
I wonder who's going to win our Chevy Player of the Game award for Notre Dame. Yateman in motion. Here's Aldridge. And Aldridge gets hit as he crosses the line of scrimmage.
This is a bitter, bitter loss for UCLA, but what a great win for Charlie Weiss and the Fighting Irish.
See number 22 go over there and slap Crum on the head. Well, that's Ambrose Wooden. And Wooden is the guy that tripped up Crum, or he might have made it all the way to the end zone.
That picture says it all. I think I know that guy.
Running down to 2 minutes to go in this one. Aldridge, the tailback. He'll get it again. And he'll get a couple down to the 25-yard line. Time now for the ESPNU All-State Standings review. And let's do some reviewing here, my friend.
How about this?
Well, California's got a real shot at being number 1.
LSU trailing, USC losing, Wisconsin losing. South Florida barely got by. Crazy, wacky year in college football.
Congratulations to your Terps with their big win today.
They held on to beat Georgia Tech by 2.
3rd and 5. Taylor coming on the blitz, as is Keys. The Keys has Aldridge. Now the question for Charlie Weiss, as UCLA uses their final timeout of the ball game, do you line up for a field goal and risk having it blocked, or do you just run one more play on 4th down?
Timeout. UCLA. That's their final charge. Timeout of the half.
Time permitting, stay tuned after the game for the Dell post-game report. John Saunders, Craig James, and are standing by to bring you all the day's scores and highlights. That's coming up next.
You know, when you look at the statistics of this ball game, you're not going to believe that Notre Dame won it. I mean, offensively, they've got 148 total yards. UCLA has almost 300. But if you look at the penalties, the points off turnovers, I mean, it's incredible.
Seven turnovers in this ball game. 6 turnovers here in the second half for the Bruins.
And 73 ticks away from Notre Dame's first win of the year.
So on 4th and 3, Weiss elects to keep his offense on the field. Aldridge behind Schwab. And Jimmy Clausen may have just drawn the Bruins offside.
Well, that's fitting to the way this ball game has gone. That's 11 penalties now against UCLA. Take a look at our Pacific Life game summary.
Prior to snap. Offsides. On the defense.
Jimmy Clausen, 17 to 27, 84 yards. Rushed for a touchdown here on this quarterback sneak. Did just what he had to do to manage the game and shorten it, not turn the ball over. And then for UCLA, but it was turnover city. McLeod Bethel Thompson had to come in after Ben Olsen got hurt. Kept turning the ball over. Tip balls. Crum there with that interception. And 20-6 Notre Dame as we go down to a minute to play.
And all we need now is a couple more kneel downs by Jimmy Clausen. Charlie Weiss snaps a dubious streak. 5 straight losses, the worst ever for Notre Dame to start a season. And they avoid tying the worst losing streak of all time. Well, tonight's Chevrolet players of the game are who else but Maurice Crum of Notre Dame and defensive end Bruce Davis of UCLA. In recognition of their efforts, Chevy will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Had to be a couple defensive players in a game like this.
No question about that. As Clausen takes a knee.
Well, outlined against a blue-gray October sky, Notre Dame gets its first win of the year.
Huge underdogs coming in. But Maurice Crum led a defense that was smothering, and Jimmy Clausen managed a very efficient passing game for the Irish. First win in a long time for the Fighting Irish.
First win since Army. You know, Notre Dame got blown out last year by USC and LSU. The secondary struggled, but they still had a pretty good year. Then they were a little bit overrated coming in this year because they were so young. They start 0-5. Even with the loss of Brady Quinn and Jeff Smarja, Jimmy Clausen showed he's got a future.
And Todd Harris is with the winning coach. Todd, go ahead.
Dan here with Coach Weiss. Coach, you've been around a lot of big wins in your coaching career. Where does this one rank?
Well, for this program, it's a big win because it's been a while. You know, we haven't won in a while, and a lot of those games haven't been that close. And I think it was just great for our kids. You know, obviously our defense turned the ball over a whole bunch. The offense got the ball in the end zone, and it's been a while, and I feel really happy for our kids.
During this streak, what was the most difficult part of venturing through it?
No, just making sure the guys never quit on you and keep your psyche up. And, you know, you could see that there was no signs of that ever taking place. I'm really happy for our kids.
There's a lot of pressure when you play quarterback at Notre Dame, but speak about Jimmy Clausen coming home again with all the pressure that was on him coming back to his home.
Oh, I think he's a happy camper right now. This game probably cost their family a whole bunch of scrambling for tickets for this game right here. But he's a happy camper here today.
And finally, the play of Maurice Crum. What can you say about that?
It looked like me on that last interception. That's what I think. He should have had another touchdown right there. But he told me that was for my drop feed. He wanted to make sure they didn't score the last time. He had a great game.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Dan?
Thank you, Todd. Well, Notre Dame knocked out the quarterback, Ben Olsen. Then they knocked off UCLA. Our final score, Notre Dame 20, UCLA 6. Tomorrow here on ABC, the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series continues from Talladega. Coverage begins at 1 Eastern with the NASCAR Countdown. Once again, our final score, Notre Dame 20, UCLA 6. For Tim Brandt and Todd Harris, thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.